is out. And not only is he out, he's out for an extended amount of time with what's his injury, guys?
Growing or some. It's a
Sciatica.
little odd.
Sciatica, yeah.
Like, yeah, it's a little odd.
I mean, that's an old injury.
It's an old man injury. Old man injury.
He's at that time now. He's at that time.
So what is sciatica?
That's that nerve. That's that nerve that goes down your hip, down all the way down your leg. Your toes will go numb.
Damn.
It's not cool.
And you've had sciatica before?
Yeah, you just gotta go to the chiropractor and get massages and stuff like that. It'll be all right.
Huh. Well, due to sciatica, for those of you who don't know what it is, now you know what it is. LeBron James will be out for, they said, 3 to 5 weeks?
3 to 4.
Ooh,
Yeah,
3
brutal.
to 4 weeks.
I mean, we know what's going on though, y'all. Like he's just, prepping for the for load management. Ain't nothing wrong with that. He deserves it. He's pushing 40, 41. He's about to be 41. He deserves
41 in December.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I ain't mad at him.
And this has nothing to do with Hennessy, Mars.
No, I don't think so. That wouldn't be a great promo for. So I hope not for his pockets, obviously.
More Stephen A about to say he been getting sauced up. He been drinking too much Hennessy, and now his sciatica messed up.
Well, the guy on ESPN the other day said LeBron should rub some Hennessy on it, and he'll be fine.
Take shots, he'll be all right. Brian don't care about basketball like that no more, man. He ready to sit down. He ready to do the ads. He ready to do all the endorsement deals. He getting ready to hang it up, man.
Is this what this episode is gonna be today?
I ain't mean to dive into a rabbit hole.
We're gonna get into some good stuff today.
At least the beginning, no more.
But
I'm here.
But the thing about it though is, y'all, obviously the Lakers are contending teams. They have Luka Doncic. They just got Marcus Smart. They just got DeAndre Ayton. Austin Reeves is still there. Obviously, Luka Doncic and LeBron James is going to be a focal point in what they do. So now I got to ask you guys. LeBron James is out for the first 3 to 4 weeks of the season. Let's just call it the first month of the season. What does this mean for this Lakers team? Is it a big deal? Can they still win without him?
Yes, absolutely.
They better win without him. With everybody else they got on that team, they better win without LeBron.
So you think they got a fire squad?
I mean, at this point, with LeBron in his 40s, he can't be the guy that teams desperately need. Like, if you build a team and you obviously LeBron is still a great player, gonna impact the game in the ways that he do, but you can't heavily rely on him to control every aspect of the game in his 40s. So Luka being the guy now, I mean, apparently he been cutting weight. He look all skinny now. Like, it's gonna be his time to shine and show that there's a future in LA with him.
Well, here's the problem. You're talking about Luka. What did DeAndre Ayton say the other day? Oh, I haven't practiced with Luka. I haven't practiced with LeBron. What the hell is that? This is my biggest concern coming into this season. The stars of this team just haven't practiced together. And my problem with the Lakers is their defense isn't good. We can call a spade. Their defense isn't good. So they got to out-offense a lot of teams to win a lot of games. And when you're missing LeBron, if you're missing a Luka chemistry with the guy who's going to feed DeAndre Ayton half his production, then you're going to get a less of a DeAndre Ayton. If you miss chemistry, you miss a link, the Lakers, I think, are going to struggle out the gate. It's my biggest concern. And listen, it's the beginning of the season. LeBron should only miss 2 to 3 weeks likely of the season. And you lose games at the beginning of the season, it's easier to make up. But we could very well, regular season games add up in any sport. So we could very well get to February, March, Lakers 7th seed in the play-in again. And we're like, man, if they just had a better start to the season, they could be the 3rd seed right now hosting a playoff series. And I really don't like how the Lakers with JJ Redick just doesn't feel as disciplined with his guys. Luka just hasn't been practicing. Hasn't practiced yet. Hasn't played a preseason. Hasn't practiced. He's been doing hot ones and press tours and Euro basketball instead of actually playing with this Lakers team. LeBron, pre-injury, hasn't played with the Lakers team. It's just been Reeves and a bunch of guys. And I'm concerned with this team coming in because, again, they just don't have the defense to sustain this. And this is big for Austin Reeves, too. I don't know about you guys, but this is a contract year for him. And if you don't have LeBron James, it's time for Reeves to scale up. He's going to decline that player option and look for $30 to $35 million. And if he doesn't prove that he's an all-star fringe, all-star level player during this stretch as the future backcourt piece with Luka, he's going to be in trouble as well.
Yeah, you don't need to have chemistry to pass a guy the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel the chemistry thing, but Luka, Bron, and DeAndre Ayton don't have to be locked away in the gym for 48 hours together just to be able to pass to each other. Like DeAndre Ayton said, he didn't practice with all of them together. That doesn't mean that him and Luka ain't never been on the court together. So while I understand what you're saying, I don't think it's as big of a deal just to start out the season. I still think they got a good roster between Luka, Austin, and DeAndre Ayton alone. I think they'll be fine for 3 weeks without Bron. Plus, honestly, without Bron in the lineup, I think there might be a few less defensive letdowns. You know what I'm saying? At 40 years old, Bron's not the best defender. So you never know. That might leave a couple extra minutes for Vando to come out and speed it up. Marcus Smart, you know what I mean? So maybe obviously they're not going to be. I wouldn't say that they're better without Bron, but the defense might be a little more intense without Bron.
I get what you mean to an extent, though. I actually agree with both of y'all here because I feel like starting the season off with having no rhythm with each other, like you don't have any type of sense of what this guy likes to do, where he likes to get his spots and all of that. That does make a difference. And then sometimes when teams finally figure that out, it's almost already too late. Now you playing catch up. Now you sitting back in the bottom of the standings trying to figure out how we can crawl up the standings and get in the playoffs. So I definitely get what you mean. And I don't think it's detrimental or will be as detrimental, but it is something that can raise an eyebrow and like come toward middle of the season, end of the season, when you need them extra 5-6 games to beat a play-in team to get in the play-in, like, I mean, those are the type of games that matter.
So you think they should be worried about that? Like, should they be worried about? Because I mean, we've talked about it. I know you guys haven't necessarily been here on the previous episodes over the last month or two, but we've talked about how the West is so crazy.
Yep.
If you play somebody in the 2 matchup, or if you play somebody in the 4-5 matchup, you're going to be playing somebody that's good in the West. Facts. So, like, do you think that maybe the Lakers are like, it doesn't really matter? Let's make sure LeBron's just fully healthy. We're going to have play somebody crazy in the first round anyways, as long as it's not OKC in the 8th spot.
Yeah, that's the idea. I mean, that's been LeBron's idea for like, a decade now. Let me just get in and we'll worry about all that stuff later. But like I said, though, their schedule, to be fair, is not the hardest in the world the first couple weeks of the season. But again, the West is going to be extremely brutal this year. And this is going to be a West where maybe 50 wins is the 8th seed. Like, seriously. And every win is going to matter out of 82. And if you start the season 500, slightly below 500, again, it's going to be March, and you're going to be like he said, where's that third, 4th win that I needed to get over that hump?
Yeah, bro. And this makes me think, like, you hit it on the nail, bro. We're talking about how this has been Bron's career for a long time. Earlier, when we seen Bron in the East at one point in his career, he used to do this, chill the whole season. Last couple of months of the season, they really turned up and finished 6th seed, 5th seed, something like that, and go win the finals. But that can't happen in the West, bro. Everybody's a threat in the West. Maybe they could get away with this if they was in the East somewhere, because there's not that many elite teams in the East outside of 3 or 4. But that's a whole nother discussion. But in the West, you have literally star after star after star every single night, no matter who you play, if you play on a different team in the West. And then I know y'all been seeing these clips of Wemby. So Spurs, I know they was looking bad last year, but dog, they might be on to something.
And who's to say this injury isn't going to linger for LeBron the entire year, too? Like, this is LeBron at 40, almost 41. He's going to start the season with this injury. It could linger the entire year. And plus, being 40 to 41, he could have another groin injury in February, which also takes him out for weeks. Knock on wood.
And it's not like an easy to heal bone injury. It's like an irritation in the nerve, which doesn't just go away. It's like, it's very hard to rehab it and recover it correctly. as opposed to like broken bones or a muscle overload. So
yeah, that's a lot of speculation right there, Casual, that he can continue to get hurt or get hurt again. And since we are speculating, I'm going to go ahead and speculate that there's nothing wrong with LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? It's just them load managing. I think that's why they picked the sciatica, because the sciatic nerve is kind of hard to prove that. So I'm 100% behind the fact that LeBron might play 55, 60 games this season. You know what I'm saying? I think they're prepping for the load management. I think they realize Luka can score the basketball. Austin Reeves can score the basketball. DeAndre can rebound. Marcus Smart can play some defense. I think they're in the realization like, Brian, you're 40. Sit back a little bit. Let Luka do this. You know what I mean? Let Luka carry the squad, and then you bring it on. And I think that's perfectly reasonable for the Lakers. I understand, the West is the West, but it's always the West. You know what I mean? So everybody got better, including the Lakers. I don't think the Lakers or LeBron have anything to worry about just by this, this little sciatica situation.
Now, if you are right about the Lakers transition and kind of more focus on Luka, then I think there's probably not much to worry about. Like, if that's exactly what they're doing, they're trying to make sure the team is centered around Luka, and LeBron is kind of that co-star in a sense, even though like it's always hard to say LeBron is a co-star on any team, but just like if that's the focal point where they make it, like Luka is our main guy, LeBron is going to play Robin to Luka in this situation, then it's probably nothing to worry about. But I think it really depends on how much stress they're trying to put on LeBron in the game plan. Like, and if they limit that, if they're not really, emphasizing too much production out of LeBron, even though he's still going to give a good amount of production, then I think they'll be all right. But when you start putting,
Manny, this is Luka's team.
I hope. I mean, we know that, but I hope the Lakers know that. That's all I'm saying. I hope the Lakers know that, because it's LeBron. It's LeBron. That's a household name, bro. So it's hard we can easily stray away from that. But like, they see this man in practice every day. They see him allegedly still being the hardest worker in the NBA. All of that stuff. So that comes with a lot of emphasis on, we got to make sure he get his touches. We got to make sure he doing his thing. So we know that, but I don't know if the Lakers know that.
I mean, yeah, it's Luka's team, but you lose LeBron, you're still missing 24, 7 and 7 a night. You're still missing your smartest player on the court a night. You're still missing one of your best defenders. I know Ox doesn't think LeBron plays defense, but look at this Lakers roster. LeBron, even at 41, is still one of the best defenders on this roster. You're still missing all that. LeBron's a big link in this starting lineup. You rather start LeBron or you rather start Rui? You know what I mean? Like, you're starting LeBron. Like, the production.
Of course, you'd rather start LeBron, but y'all got to stop acting like Rui's a bum. I'm so tired of y'all acting like Rui just can't play basketball.
But it's a massive drop off when you go from LeBron to him.
He ain't Brian. Yeah, he ain't Brian. He ain't a bum. But if he ain't playing with LeBron, I mean, you know what happened to guys once they leave LeBron. Like, if you don't look good playing with LeBron, like you might have some questionable skills.
Rui looked better. Rui looked good playing in Washington. Was y'all not watching Rui? Rui was balling in Washington.
Man, Washington don't make enough noise, man.
Yo, I want to backtrack because I heard something, and I know Jean Money, and I know Mars doesn't agree when you guys just say that this is Luka's team. Just outright.
I don't know. I think their plan is probably for it to be Luka's team long term. I think a lot on this show is probably overstating how good the Lakers' chances of winning it this year is, in my opinion. I think they're more thinking probably a couple of years down the road when it's Luka driving it forward. I don't think they're. I think they have this outside chance, but that would be a lot of players surprising at the same time and getting way better, like Marcus Smart being better than I expected to be, DeAndre Ayton actually playing like an NBA player, and so on. So I actually think they're kind of gearing it. I think if they could, and LeBron didn't have a no trade clause, they might have been in the best interest of them to just trade him and rebuild with Luka.
But Jean Money, whose team is it though?
I mean, LeBron is here, so it's never not like his team, but it's not all. It's also like they have definitely not capitulated as much to LeBron as they did in the past. Like, they didn't give him the extension he was like trying to get and negotiate there. so he had to opt in. He had both the implied no trade clause and a no trade clause, so they couldn't trade him. And just in general, I think they're gearing after this year. It's going to be Luka's teams, definitely. But like with LeBron, he's always going to be like, if he's there, there's so much media attention on him. You can never say it's like just Luka's team.
Facts. I agree with you. I think the team is going to be ran through Luka, and it should be Luka's team. But if LeBron is on any roster in the NBA, it automatically becomes his team because he's the GM, he's the owner, the coach. He's all of the above. So I think it's hard to put that on somebody else, regardless of what they're doing on that team.
I disagree. I thought this conversation was over in the summer. The day that they traded for Luka, it instantly became Luka's team, not just on the court, but upstairs too. I mean, I thought we kind of understood this by how they treated LeBron in the summer, but on the court, Luka gets by far the most touches. And then off the court, all the moves that the Lakers do upstairs caters to Luka, not LeBron. I thought the reports also said that too throughout the summer, but LeBron not getting the extension he wanted. LeBron not getting the trades that he wants. It's all Luka free agency signings. All the signings are for who fits best with Luka. DeAndre Ayton, Jake LaRavia, Marcus Smart. Luka Doncic got Marcus Smart on the Lakers. So all the moves they've been making on and off the court have been for Luka. This is easily Luka's team. And as soon as they trade Anthony Davis for Luka, Rob Pelinka Bus have been pivoting to be his team. I don't think it's LeBron's anymore. LeBron might still be the face of the Lakers in everyone's head because it's LeBron James. But behind the scenes, this is Luka's team.
Gotta be
I
Luka's.
agree on that. I think as long as you have a player that has one of the most
if LeBron isn't willing to get out of Luka's way, then this isn't gonna be a success story.
I don't know why you guys know what's going on here, and you guys are purposely trying to just overlook the fact that LeBron is LeBron and Luka knows LeBron's old enough to be Luka's grandpa. Like, I'm saying, like, casual. It's your house, right? Mm-hmm. You know it's your house. Your name's on the title, all of that. You own the house. When your girl moves in the house, whose house is it?
It's Luka's house now. Like I just explained, it's Luka's house. He gets twice as many touches.
Not the girl.
Luka gets twice as many touches on the court than LeBron. All the moves in the offseason pointed that Rob Pelinka is listening to Luka, not LeBron. They don't listen to Rich Paul. That's why Rich Paul was putting out those sneak disses all summer. It's because Rob Pelinka isn't even picking up his phone.
And you know who Rich Paul is? So LeBron is the girl who moved in. Rich Paul is the mama. Hey, when she come over, she making sure everything's straight.
No way.
Well, the owner of the house actually is Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss. LeBron was the girlfriend who moved in 2018, but now Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss got a new girl who's younger and hotter named Luka Doncic. And as soon as Luka moved in, they kicked out the old one. It's
that old girl also both saved the house from burning down because it was burning down.
Of course.
And that old girl is also friends with the police commissioner, aka the most powerful agent in the NBA.
LeBron was like I said throughout the summer, LeBron was like the girl to Rob Pelinka who saved him in his lowest. You know, the girl who comes in, saves you at your lowest, helps you become a better person. You have the best time of your life with this person. But now you're seeing wrinkles in your woman. Now she's picking up a couple weight. Now you got to see this younger, slimmer girl, and you're like, I'm going to bring her in on the side. And all of a sudden, she's changed my world too. So, yeah, this is Luka's team.
Yeah.
I agree with you, bro. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
I agree with you.
The thing y'all got to realize is JJ's not going to let Bron coach his team. You know what I'm saying? JJ's not a pushover. Like this is JJ Redick is coaching his team, not LeBron James.
I really wish he had like opted out this year and gone to the Cavs for like the last 2 years, like his hometown team. But I'm not LeBron. Like his family lives in LA. He's playing with his son right now. If you want to not play for his hometown team and compete for a championship because you want to be with his family, who am I to criticize him? But as a fan, I would have loved to seen that happen. Also because that would make the Cavs more interesting with like them versus OKC with LeBron as their small forward. That would have been a great finals matchup.
All right, y'all. Well, I guess we've talked enough about LeBron. Does anybody else have anything to say about this injury? What this may mean for LeBron? What this may mean for the Lakers? I did like the point that you guys made about obviously it kind of helps LeBron in the long run, and they need him more in the second half of the season than they need him in the first half of the season.
I'll just say this. You see the poster in the back, the shirt, LeBron's the GOAT. I'm the biggest bronze sexual on the planet. And, this hurts for me to say. Oh, I'm in the big screen. This hurts for me to say, but I'm really starting to think this is going to be LeBron's last year. And I know it's not like the boldest take in the world to say that a soon-to-be 41-year-old is entering his last season. But when I see this injury, this screams to me old mules breaking down. I mean, you think about this guy, he's going into year 23. He's arguably had the best durability I think I've ever seen from a professional athlete. But this sciatica is like an old person injury. Nerves, and LeBron's only getting older. So this is something that's going to keep catching up to him if he plays longer. And I think if you're LeBron, how much longer are you going to try to load manage and take these injuries when you just really don't have that much to play for anymore? I thought last season was like the final checkbox of his career, play with his son. I don't think he has no other way to, nothing else to prove anymore. I think the only reason he's still playing is because he wants a full season with Luka and maybe one last shot at a championship. But I don't think it's worth playing for him anymore. I mean, he's playing golf. He's ramping up off the court stuff in Hollywood. LeBron James is pump faking retirement heavier than before. He's saying that he's not forcing himself to play with his other son. I think all signs are pointing to this could very well be his last season. Like if we get to the All-Star break, right, and the Lakers are just I wouldn't be surprised if he just announces the retirement tour. And this hurts for me to say because, I'm the biggest LeBron fan in the world. All I know is in my life, I'm pretty much as old as LeBron's been in the NBA, which is nuts. That's all I know in the NBA is LeBron. So it's going to hurt for him to announce that retirement. But the guy's playing golf. He probably hurt himself playing golf. But everyone knows what golf is when you're 40. That's like your pivot until retirement.
All right. Well, shout out to LeBron. Shout out to the Lakers. Shout out to my man Casual. Shout out to my man Manny Wilson. Shout out to J Money. Shout out to the Hoop Talk podcast, maybe. But y'all, let's go ahead and pivot. Let's transition. Today we will be talking about what? Oh, shout out to Big Ox Media and everybody else that's tapped in. Make sure you like the video and all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and pivot, though. We're going to talk about the Central Division today. So let's talk about it. My man Manny's up here to rep the Pistons. Casual's up here to maybe rep the Cavs.
I'll rep the Cavs. That's my pivot when Braun retires.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
But y'all, how are we feeling about this division in totality? Is this the best division in the East?
Definitely. I think without a doubt it's the best division in the East. And then I hate to say this, man, I'm sorry, bro. I know you're a Cavs fan, but I hate to say this, but I really think the Pistons got a chance to run this division wholeheartedly, bro. Just because of a lot of the offseason moves they made, I think they got a lot better than what they were last year. Last year, they obviously had a pretty good playoff run after the following season, losing and only winning 14 games. So to get to the playoffs and actually give a good fight against a solid Knicks team was huge. But adding Duncan Robinson, some more shooters, and I still think we're probably even going to get Malik Beasley probably for a sale now because he had the whole gambling situation. He wants to be there. Apparently, he's been finally paying his rent in Detroit, so that's good to see. So he's out of that debt, and I think Pistons going to get him back for a discount. And then you just bring in Karis LeVert. So I think they have the personnel to match up with a lot of different teams in the East. But more importantly, I got to give credit to the Cavs because they have been running this division. So I think they can match up with the Cavs and possibly outrun them down the season.
Yeah, Cavs are the easiest team, the best team in this division. I don't know. The Pistons are nice, they're up and coming, but bro, the Cavs are by far the best team. If you were to line up both their rosters, who's the 5 best players in that series? It's Cade Cunningham and 4 Cavs. I mean, the Cavs are just better on both sides of the ball on that team. You got Donovan Mitchell, who's going to be the best player in the series. Then you have Darius Garland, who behind Cade would be the 3rd best player in the series, and Evan Mobley. If he takes another leap, he could be even better than Cade. Like, that's who we're talking about. And then Jared Allen, of course. The Cavs are a really good team. I don't know if the Cavs are a finals team because every time they get to the playoffs, it seems like something goes wrong with injuries or just not rising to the moment. But as far as just the regular season, who's the best team in this division? It's easily the Cavs.
Regular season, I would, if I had to rank them of where they would finish in the standings, I would put Cavs ahead of them because they're a deeper team, and I'll give them their respect on that. They are a deeper team. They have a lot of individuals who can spark up and give you 30 points just randomly, whereas the Pistons only got a couple guys, if that, who can give you 30 outside of Kate. So I would give them that respect. Playoffs is where I look to and where I think Pistons might have the edge, because down the line and looking at the past couple of years, Cavs just haven't really been able to do anything in the playoffs and get over the hump. So with the Pistons getting into the playoffs and having a pretty good series in their first year, obviously that's some playoff experience for a lot of young guys, but even adding more people with playoff experience like Duncan Robinson, who's good. Karis LeVert has a little bit of playoff experience, but I think that Duncan Robinson pickup will be a huge pickup for them because ultimately he's been in the playoffs for the past couple of years too, and he's helped out.
Real quick,
I have a sneaky hot take that Cleveland
this division is Indiana, Chicago, Milwaukee, Detroit, Cleveland.
Yes, sir.
And this is, and
I had
this
to
is
look
the
it up
best-
as well.
y'all tried to say this was the best division.
Well, I mean, look around the East. What is it? Southeast division is trash. It's like all the bottom teams in the East with like Washington and all that. And then the other
Wait, so
division,
what's that?
I believe it's the
Orlando?
Atlantic.
Orlando, Miami, Atlanta.
Yeah. Just a
Yeah.
bunch of like
Come on,
good
man.
teams, but not great teams. And then you have
that's the best division in the East.
yeah, but they have some bottom feeders.
Come
I
on,
believe
man.
Charlotte and Washington's also in that division. And then you have
Yeah,
then you
Milwaukee,
pivot
Milwaukee
over.
and Indiana are going to be terrible this year, and Chicago's all right.
They're going to be better
Yeah.
than Washington and Charlotte.
Easily.
Yeah, but they're not better. They're not better than Atlanta, Orlando,
Well,
or
Cleveland's
Miami.
better than all of the Cleveland's better than all of them.
I mean, yeah.
Cleveland,
Better
Cleveland
than
ain't better than Orlando.
If you go down
Cleveland's
the
better
line,
than Orlando.
Cleveland's better than them, Pistons are better than them, and I'll even give the Bucks too, just with Giannis alone, because I really think Atlanta is overrated, bro. Yes, I know they got Porzingis, but come on, bro. Porzingis he was barely healthy this past season with the Celtics, so I doubt when he has to get more usage with the Atlanta Hawks that he's really gonna make
He
something
got
happen.
sick. That's crazy. I hate when y'all do that. Somebody gets sick last year. You're like, oh well, he was sick last year, so he's gonna be sick this year.
Look,
That's not how that works.
It's not just last year.
It wasn't exactly. It wasn't last year. The past few years since he's been on the Celtics, he's barely been there. When he's there, he does have an impact. Don't get me wrong. He was a dog when he's healthy and playing in the game, especially on both ends of the ball, offensively and defensively. But in terms of just being able to be present and be there each night, no, I'm not scared of the Hawks with Porzingis.
Well, look, I don't want to.
64 games last year.
I don't want to derail too much. I know I did. I don't want to derail too much, but I just want to say Orlando is just as good as Cleveland, and Miami and Atlanta are both potentially better than Detroit. So I just want to leave it there.
Miami? Are you kidding me? Come on, bro.
Miami's going to be
All right. Let's get back to the division.
No. What do y'all not see in Miami? What do you not see in Miami?
What is there to see in Miami?
I thought I was up here with some ball knowers.
What is there to see in Miami? They've been the same team for like the last 4 years, minus that one
That's
final.
usually a pretty good team like every other year, and now we're every other year. So it's their
All right, time will tell.
good year.
I know Khalil. Never mind. I ain't gonna do that. Never mind.
Do what, Ox?
Nothing.
Do what, Big Ox? What about
He's
Khalil
better
Williams?
than Wemby? You're not gonna say he's better than Wemby like he did on 12?
Who?
Khalil Ware better than Wendy?
Bro, stop. Oh, stop this.
Yo, back this camera up, bro. Go
Bro,
home,
this
bro.
is
Yo,
madness.
Mark, you don't gotta out me like that, man.
My bad.
But y'all gonna see. Just watch. Just keep watching basketball.
Oh, someone just said in the chat, didn't Tyler Hero just get surgery?
Oh,
Yes.
Tyler will be out for a little bit, but they still gonna be out.
They not gonna be all right, bro. Come on, man. Not with
But they got a good system in there. Like they're usually, if they try, they're usually like decent.
Yeah.
Like, they're
But
not
that
going to be
usually
solid just
leads-
because that's
That usually leads to like the 8th seed.
play-in team. Atlanta Hawks, Miami Heat. The boy, we'll see him we'll see him again in the play-in. Don't worry.
Yeah, but the East has like 8 play-in teams, so some of them is going to have to make the playoffs.
I would put the Magic in the playoffs before I guarantee the Heat or Atlanta Hawks getting in the
I think
playoffs.
we're all
Magic
doing
really
that.
good.
Orlando is gonna be the
Why are
one
the
or
Hawks
two
getting
They're gonna be
slandered?
like the second
While
seed,
walking?
third seed, maybe I'd say. I think that's.
I don't know. We're meant to be talking about the Central Division. We're talking about the Southeast.
All
So I
right.
don't know what's going on.
I actually have a sneaky. Can I say a
Central
sneaky
Division.
Central Division hot take? I
Go
think
ahead.
the Cleveland should be a little like close to OKC as the title favorite because their conference is so trash. Like I would say they're like favored against the field to make the finals, and by that you got a pretty good shot at winning the championship.
I see what you're saying. So you saying
Uh,
like OKC is gonna have 3 pretty tough rounds to get to the finals, and then still have to play in the finals to win, which means 4 rounds, as opposed to the Cavs where they may only have 1 or 2 tough series.
Yes.
That's why the Mariners were World Series favorites coming into the postseason.
And Mariners about to lose to a Detroit team like the Cavs gonna do.
With the
Come
same logic. That's why the Mariners were the favorites.
Wait
the
till
same
we
logic.
get to this Splashsports ad read. Y'all just wait for this. But
Like you also got like I'm not saying they're favored against the entire. It's like okay, I think OKC is so much better than everyone that they're the favorites, but anyone after them is just Cleveland is so much ahead of the East. Like they're just gonna make the finals. And then even LeBron Cavs teams, they were so much better than they made the finals every year. So you got a 1 in 4 chance, right? They had a 1 in 4 chance. The Heat teams made it every year because they were so much better. Like that's 3-8 is still a pretty good shot at winning a championship.
OKC is
the
not
Knicks in there
so much
too.
better than everyone.
I also don't like just
Yeah.
assuming the Cavs gonna get to the finals. Like Cavs are a good team, don't get me wrong, but they finished top 5 in seeding over like the last 4 years and still haven't even got near the finals. So like I just don't like how we assuming that they're gonna get to the finals when there's other teams in the East. Not necessarily my Pistons. I'm not saying we going to the finals instead of the Cavs. I'm just saying that anything can happen in the Eastern Conferences. Cavs, yeah, they top dogs, but they ain't did nothing with that position over the last few years.
For sure.
So you agree with me?
They're also very hurt.
On that part, definitely.
Yeah, they got to get healthy first.
Health is going to be a big factor.
Orlando and New York, the Knicks, both of them could easily be better than the Cavs, regular season and definitely postseason.
So, I agree with you on that. But the thing is, with the Eastern Conference, I feel like because there are a lot of teams that's like evenly talented or filled with even talent, like anybody can almost beat anybody. So like last year, we seen the Pistons almost beat the Knicks. Like who's to say that Bucks play the Pistons and Bucks win and they go on to play the Knicks and they end up beating the Knicks just because Giannis is on a tear and they end up going to the finals? Like who knows? So that's what
Bucks?
what's interesting about the East. I'm using that as an example. I'm just saying like anybody can beat anybody in the Eastern Conference, and ultimately, word on the street is Bucks not done making moves. They trying to bring more pieces around Giannis so they don't lose him. But I don't know.
I think they might be. He might be the move.
Yeah, he might be the move.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. He might be the
all right,
move.
fellas, let's do this. We're gonna start with the team that actually hasn't been mentioned yet.
The Bulls?
Yeah, we're
right.
gonna start with the Chicago Bulls, and then we'll work our way up. How do we feel about the Bulls this year? Matis had a solid rookie campaign. Kobe White has been playing good these last couple years. Swipe, I know you love Kobe White. And then outside of that, I got Noah Singway.
Matis,
Josh
early,
Giddey. Josh
early
Giddey.
most improved player candidate.
Josh Giddey.
I'm gonna tell you right now, this team, Bulls, they gotta start over. They gotta start over. Keep Matis, keep Giddey, keep Kobe White. Everybody else needs to be on the trade block or something needs to be figured out because they do have a lot of talent of individuals here, but this team has no order. And I think the coach needs to be gone. He's been there way too long with no production at all. We've seen him have solid teams with the Bulls. We've seen him have bad teams with the Bulls. But
Which year do you feel like he underperformed expectations?
Underperformed with Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Alex So, Kobe White. He had a
They
crazy.
had the number 1 seed when they were all healthy.
I think they performed to what their expectation was.
They did have the number 1 seed when they were all healthy.
And that was fine, but that was also the first couple of months of the season.
No.
That was
They were
was
decimated by
hurt,
injuries.
They played harder teams and they fell down. Like expectations.
team.
Are.
And I get Lonzo was hurt. That's cool. I know Lonzo, he started playing some of his best ball when he got to Chicago, but ultimately as a coach, bro, you got to adjust. You brought in a couple different point guards. You brought in Patrick Beverly, not to say he's on the same level of Lonzo.
They rebuilt.
Different
Billy
guards.
Donovan rebuilt DJJ's value in the league.
It was unsuccessful once again. unsuccessful once again. We're in his third rebuild, and he still ain't did nothing with the Bulls.
Which player is he building around that you think they should have been making the playoffs with
At this point, well, in the past
5 years?
DeMar DeRozan.
So DeMar DeRozan is supposed to be the anchor for.
They did.
They made the playoffs with DeMar DeRozan, by the way.
in 22.
barely.
DeMar DeRozan dropped 40, I think, versus the Milwaukee Bucks in 2022.
I mean, but it's 22. I mean, truthfully, is that really good enough with all the talent? Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan.
Yes, that's exactly what they should be.
Playing their best ball with Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan.
I thought the biggest critique was that trio was just mid in the first place, and they shouldn't have built around them in the first place.
That is 100% correct.
The issue has been
Lonzo Ball got hurt, but why are we acting like Lonzo hurt?
What year did Billy Donovan, in your estimation, drop the ball and underperform based on the roster around him?
Since he's, I won't say since he's been there. The year they got to the playoffs with DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Lonzo was still on the team, I thought it was cool. I'm like, okay, there's real promise with the Chicago Bulls team. But since then, they haven't done anything worth keeping that roster together. They haven't done anything that says, oh, they're going in the right direction. And then from there, after a couple more failed seasons, we say we're going to try and get rid of Zach LaVine.
But they traded Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, though. They got off the assets.
They finished below 500 the following year, though. They made the playoffs.
Yeah,
so maybe you can point to that year with the big three. They finished 40 and 42. So maybe you can point to that.
Oh,
year.
we're talking about the year where Billy Donovan had a top 5 defense with LaVine, Vucevic, and DeMar DeRozan being his 3 most played players.
And they had the number 1 defense in the
criticizing
NBA.
the
They had
I
the
do
number.
believe
And 2 years ago, they had the number 1.
Any other coach
defense
gets
in
a
the
top 5
NBA.
defense with those 3 playing 35 minutes a game. Normally, we get praised, but I guess Billy Donovan doesn't get praised.
And 2 years ago, just for context, they had the number 1 clutch defense in the NBA with Vooch and DJJ and DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine on the floor.
Yo, but can we put some things into perspective too? I'm with Manny on this. And it's not necessarily whether Billy was executing or not, and whether he manned top 5 defenses and did all of that. My thing is, any other coach in this situation on any other team would have got canned
easily.
Yeah, but I think their ownership wants to be in the exact position they're in right now because they know they can't get any better before they tank, but they like being in the play-in playoffs-ish area, so they keep this veteran coach around.
That's why Bulls fans hate their ownership. You guys are blaming Billy Donovan for an ownership issue.
I mean,
do you think this team should be better than it is? Do you think Billy Donovan is making the team worse?
This team should have been better than what they are, considering
because of Billy Donovan.
2021.
I'm not saying should the Bulls have rebuilt and built a playoff. I'm saying with the roster the Bulls have, is Billy Donovan stopping them from being a perennial playoff team?
I'm giving that blame on Billy Donovan.
He isn't in charge of the rebuilding.
But wouldn't it actually be Arturas Karnisovas who is the reason why their team is where it is? They traded Wendell Carter Jr. in a first. They traded Wendell Carter Jr. in a first-round pick for Vooch when they wanted to have a defensively anchored team, and then Billy Donovan was able to make mincemeat out of a bunch of bad products. They still had a very good defense. And then on top of that, they then kept DeMar DeRozan for longer than he needed to keep him. They kept Zach LaVine for longer than he needed to keep him. They turned down multiple deals over the course of that trade.
And that's not a Billy Donovan.
They then re-upped on Vooch. They then re-upped on Vooch and gave him a contract extension. They then traded Alex Caruso, maybe the most prized role player around the league, for Josh Giddey. And that's it. So that's none of that has anything to do with Billy Donovan. This is all AR.
They traded Zach LaVine and all they got back was their first-round pick.
They got Kevin Huerter. They got Kevin Huerter too, Morris.
All right, bro.
Ox, you celebrated when he was off your team.
Shout out K-Bon.
I remember. I did. Yes.
Zach Collins too.
Any Bulls fan, anyone who's invested in Chicago knows this is ownership.
So
who they blame.
Front office has also been terrible, but my thing is, bro, we've seen championship coaches get fired around the league like every year since in the last 4 years. We've seen a championship coach who's won this decade get fired. So now you telling me a guy who's been on the same team coaching hasn't been in the playoffs
because that's ownership. That's
we're
ownership.
talking about expectations.
Ownership.
Championship coaches getting fired, whether that be
Doc Rivers, Frank Vogel.
What's his name?
Malone.
What's his name?
Malone.
Michael Malone. He was having disagreements with ownership. Swiper can attest to that. They were the GM, whatever his name is. I forget his name.
Okay, what about Buddha?
They were having vocal disagreements. Like the Bulls standard is be competitive, get in the play-in, and whatever happens. Billy Donovan is achieving the Bulls standard based on what he's being given.
That can't.
You're saying these championship coaches are getting fired, but that's because they're not achieving the standard, which is championships.
Yes.
If the Bulls standard was championships, yes, Billy Donovan would get fired. Obviously, but that's not what they're aspiring to be. So why would you then say, well, these championship coaches are getting fired, therefore Billy Donovan should get fired, when we know that the Knicks, the Bucks, whoever, aren't operating at the same standard as the Bulls?
See,
we just know that's not what's happening.
I don't know how that can be the standard when you're one of 8 teams in the NBA that have more than 3 championships.
Wait. Time out.
Once again, now you got to take out with different ownership. Take out with ownership.
Mars.
That can be the standard.
What does that? Hold on, just to clear this up.
Just because you won in the 90s.
Yeah, what does winning in the 1990s, when you, I don't know if you were born, I don't know how old you are. What does winning in the 1990s have to do with what's happening in 2021 to 2025?
Because you've achieved success in the past, you want to achieve it again. I will agree with him. It is a little weird that a team that
they have the same owners,
the Cowboys haven't made the conference championship since 1995.
The team right on.
We have an ownership issue also.
But
yeah, I agree. Ownership issue, like
for the
name, Jerry Reinsdorf is the owner. He's in the Hall of Fame.
But they made the playoffs with the Bulls, though. I'm confused.
They made it once in the last 5 years.
Yes.
They lost in the
and they've had a
play-in.
team that's been good enough to make the playoffs maybe twice.
They have the exact team. What
They lost in the play-in because of a crying baby.
Since 2017.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Since 2017. This is almost 10 years. The Bulls have made the playoffs once.
Well, they won because of it.
If they had Giannis, then I would be with you. But they don't even have like Giannis.
They
Brunson,
won because of
any
the crying baby.
I don't think he's realizing that's like.
Wasn't
I
it
don't think he's
DeMar's
realizing
daughter?
this
It
is an
wasn't
ownership
a
Yes,
issue.
exactly. It's DeMar's daughter.
I agree that it's an ownership issue. And obviously Billy Donovan wasn't there in 2017. So obviously that's not on him. And it is an ownership issue. My thing is, how is the standard not winning when you are one of the
That's an ownership thing.
Take that up with the Bulls. Ask them how that's not their standard.
The ownership has to set the expectation.
Detroit fan. I
You
can't
brought
remember
up
what's your name
championship
again.
coaches get fired. You brought up championship coaches get fired. Championship
Manny.
coaches get fired because ownership
Manny.
set the expectation that they felt like they weren't living up to. The expectation in Chicago right now is, I don't think they have one. It's just be competitive, whatever, because they
As long
still
as the
sell
Bulls
out
are
more
number one in
arenas.
attendance
Chicago
every year, they
sells
have
out
no
more
reason
arenas than I
to
think any
not do
team in the
anything.
league
Yeah.
last year. They have fans in the seats no matter if they're really good or really bad. So ownership is going to sit there, print the ticket money, and not really care. They got the 6 championships in the 90s, and they've been writing it ever since. I don't think they care, and that's why Billy Donovan's still here. Now, I think Billy Donovan is a good coach. Is his leash pretty long given how little success he has? Yes, but most of the expectations, he's not in control of these rebuilds. He wasn't in control of trading Zach LaVine or possibly trading Vucevic or trading DeMar DeRozan. He wasn't in control of trading those guys too late or too early or drafting this guy or bringing this guy in. That's all ownership. That's all general manager and the people upstairs. They create the roster. They set the expectations. And there is no expectations right now in Chicago other than let's just be okay. And that's what Billy Donovan's doing. He's making them okay. If you want Billy Donovan fired, then you got to change whoever's upstairs first. And I think people in Chicago would tell you the biggest problem for Chicago is the people running the team in general.
Jerry Reinsdorf.
Yep.
That's
The
the
Bulls
name.
have actively
Jerry
said
Reinsdorf.
they're not going to rebuild. They're very happy with their
Fox
position.
too, and that's why they so bad.
They keep selling
But,
tickets.
like, that's the thing. Every year of Billy Donovan's tenure, they've been number one in attendance. The only year they weren't was his first year, but that was lockdown, COVID. Like arenas weren't even full. So take that with a grain of salt. But every year since then, 2022, number one in attendance. 2023, number one in attendance. 2024, number one in attendance. This past year, number one in attendance. If the fans are still coming and showing up to the games while the team is mid, the ownership is going to say, hey, let's keep being mid. They're not going to commit to a rebuild, be the 15th seed, and actually try and acquire some young talent. Although I think Mantas Muzelis was a steal for them at number 11 last year. Me and Ron have been on that train for a little while. But like they don't have that level of player and acting like this is a team that should just be in the playoffs. I don't think any of us think this team is good enough to make the playoffs. And that's not because of Billy Donovan. I would argue Billy Donovan's changed the way he's played as the years have gone on to fit the players he has. And I think he's maximizing individuals. The issue is the individuals just aren't that good. So you're going to have a cap of like 14 wins, and they're going to compete. They're going to try and win as many games as possible, get into the 9 seed, and then lose in the play-in. That's exactly what's probably going to happen this year as well. The Bulls are going to be a 9 or 10 seed and lose in the play-in.
Yo, fellas, right quick, I got to step in because unlike the Bulls poverty franchise, I don't want you guys to do that and stay mediocre. I want you guys to level your life up. hit the lottery, strike the lottery, and move up to the top and win championships. And you can only do that with Splash Sports. So here's how you're going to do it. Splash Sports has a contest called Quick Picks. And this is their new peer-to-peer DFS daily fantasy sports game where you pick more or less on 2 or more player projections. Your entry gets matched with other players at the same buy-in and at the same pick count. But here's why it's fire. They have fair matchmaking, which means you are competing against people. You're not competing against AI. Could you imagine like putting your picks against artificial intelligence? That just wouldn't be fun. Well, that's what these other apps do, not Splash Sports. You compete against people, not the house. You also have more strategy. You have a diverse range of lines, which means you can find multiple ways to outsmart other players. And last but not least, you just have better odds. You don't need the perfect card. You just need to get more correct picks than the other people in the group, and you win cash. If multiple players tie for the top spot, then they just split it. I just had that happen last night. Me and somebody else got 6 picks correct, and we just split the pot. It was easy money. Nothing more, nothing less. And as you can see on the banner, new users, when you use code player and you deposit up to $50, we will match up to $50, and you will get a 100% boost on your first entry. So what are you waiting for? Download the Splash Sports app, join the winner's circle, and also tell these picks right now, because in case you don't know, now you do know that this is game 4 of the WNBA finals today, hence why me and Ox are both in Phoenix, hence why Chilltown's not on the show because he's on his way to Phoenix, hence why Jordan's not on the show today because he's on his way to Phoenix. But these are the picks that we are rocking with today. Swiper, let me know how you feel about this. I had to do this when Ox wasn't here. Asia Wilson, less.
That's a lot of picks.
Because she's just going to go less. DeWanna Bonner, less than 20.5 points and rebounds. A lot of people would expect her to have a good game because Satu's not here, but she literally hasn't really played good all playoffs. She's a little long in the tooth, in the words of Chill. So I don't think that she's going to have the breakout game that people expect. Who I do think is going to get off tonight, Sammy Whitcomb. She's probably going to shoot about 8 threes tonight. And if she gets 8 threes, I expect her to go more than 8.5 points. Kalia Copper, 24.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I expect her to get busy like she's been doing all series. Chelsea Gray has been getting busy all series, so I expect her to go more on 21.5 PRA. And last but not least, Jackie Young has been going crazy all series too, so I expect her to go more on 23.5 points and assists. Shout out to the WNBA finals.
Chelsea Gray.
You guys tapped in. What's up?
21.5 is crazy for Chelsea Gray, so shout out to her. That's real low.
That's too much?
Good. That's big money. Chelsea Gray, 21.5. That's good money right there. I love that.
Yeah.
You know, Asia Wilson she wants to have a master class to close the series out and get a sweep. So she definitely going for 30 something tonight.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of crazy to fade the best player in the world when she has a chance to win a title, but it's okay.
No, it's good. Ron's been hitting. Y'all sleep. Ron been hitting behind me. He's the second best athlete on the platform for sure. Ron's been, he's been collecting some money. Shout out to my dog, man. Shout out to my dog.
Yeah. All right, Swiper, you good? I know you tapped in kind of late. You got a beanie on right now. You okay?
Nope. Still getting over my respiratory virus that I got from Ron from the holistosis. So shout out to y'all, man. Yeah, shout out to y'all,
Swiper, eat some cake. They said that helps you to get over certain things.
When you come back to Atlanta, I'm sure Cake will love to see you again.
Right, for sure. All right, y'all. Well, we're going to move off of the Bulls, and we are going to move to the Indiana Pacers. Obviously, the Pacers was a hot talk after the new year started. They picked it up. Halliburton had the boys playing well. They ended up surging through the playoffs, made it to the finals. Obviously, lost in Game 7. Halliburton tore his Achilles. Pascal Siakam had a hell of a year. Ryan Nembhard, Nesmith, Miles Turner, who isn't there anymore, but he all had a good season. They all had a good season. But y'all, let me know, how do you feel about the Indiana Pacers as of right now? I know a lot of things have changed, But what are our thoughts and expectations on this? On the
TJ
new
got
version of
hurt
the
last night. They don't expect him back for a month.
He what?
He got hurt last night. He got like a hamstring injury.
And how long is he out?
A month, I think they expect. So probably like a strained hamstring.
Who got injured? What?
TJ McConnell.
Hamstring injury to miss at least a month.
Oh, damn. Yeah. Number 1 pick incoming.
Yeah, Nemhart FC. I guess you just really only watch this team if you want to see Nemhart make like an all-star jump. Other than that, just not interested in the Pacers this year.
I agree.
At least a month.
Year for anybody on that roster to kind of establish themselves as like, you know, a Hoover. Like, I mean, Benedict Mathurin, he had some good minutes last year in the playoffs, so maybe he turned up a little bit, but I don't really expect the Pacers to do much.
Why won't they be a top 8 team in the Eastern Conference next year?
It depends if they want to be. That's where I stand. I don't know what the Pacers' aspirations are.
No Halliburton.
I can contend that their starting 5 is still one of the best in the conference. And they still
With the system,
Andrew Nemhard,
talk about it.
Smith.
Talk about it. Benny.
Is it Obi gonna start or
Benny starting? Benny starting.
Okay, so you have Nemhard, Neesmith, Benny, Pascal, and
who's the center?
Jackson, James White.
Well, it's Isaiah Jackson or it's going to be Jay Huff, but apparently Isaiah Jackson.
Oh yeah, Jay Huff. I
Jay Huff.
I love Jay Huff. Yeah, I love Jay Huff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we all know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It depends what their goal is. I don't know. It depends.
They'll still be a top 5, top 6 offense this year.
They could probably get in the playoffs.
Carlisle has a great system that can operate at a high level.
It's not that they'll be
they were 9th last year.
Well, I know, but we know like after.
But
January,
second half of the season, they
because remember Hali was hurt.
If they can get a top 10 offense, I think that's doable. Top 5 is probably a stretch because you got OKC's gonna have a good offense just by existing. Their defense leading to offense. Denver, Cleveland, I think they go without saying. Then you look at the Lakers, the Clippers, the Knicks. Like there's a bunch of teams, but they traded for their pick back once Halliburton went down the first time, which is why I don't know what their goal is.
True.
Yeah, right before he tore his Achilles. So like if they're going the tanking route, then I can see them just being an exciting team that ultimately wins 28 games. But if they're going the route of we still think we can make the playoffs, we have talent, blah blah blah, I can still see them being a playoff play-in level team, 6, 7, 8 in that
their top 4 will be a playoff level rotation, and they'll win their minutes a lot. But I think it will be those non-Nemhard Pascal minutes that probably will tank them the most. But the Neesmith, Benny, Nemhard, and Pascal, that's really good. That's a really solid 4. It's just, we'll see what happens when outside of that. But yeah, I mean, I still like the Pacers.
They're a tough team to gauge. Yeah, they're a tough team to gauge. It's literally just based on what they want. I think they're good enough to make the playoffs, but I also think it would make sense for them to not make the playoffs based on their pick. So I don't know. I can't tell you what I expect from the Pacers. This is going to be a team that I can see them being a 6 seed. I can see them being anything. What's 13? I can see them going as low as 12. The Nets are going to snake 12. So yeah, that's where I see them 6 through 12.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like it's because if they want to, and they probably should, it could be a gap year. But if they want to be good, like the East is not that good, and they have a good system. They still have some very good players like they have. They could be like a playoff team if they want to, but I don't think they should want to. I think they should get a
Who's making the playoffs in the East next year then?
No one. Like
Cavs. Oh wow. Just boycott.
Well, I don't know. I think this division can have 3 playoff teams: Pistons, Cavs, Bucks. Yeah. And I also think the Pacers are capable of making the playoffs if they go for it. And if the Bulls luck in the play-in, I also think they could sneak their way in. But that's not going to happen. But they're going to be in the play-in. So if they win back-to-back games, all of a sudden they're an 8 seed. So technically, I think this division could have 5 playoff teams.
I also think like if Indiana and Milwaukee stop trying, then the Bulls might be the team coming in, if that makes sense. Because Milwaukee might trade Giannis. There's talks about that. He could be hurt, and then they just suck.
I can see the Pacers getting in the play-in. I can see them doing a play-in game. Teams I consider for sure getting in the playoffs, or that I would put money down on getting in the playoffs: Knicks, Cavs, Pistons, for sure. And then I would probably, depending on if the Bucks trade Giannis or not. I think if they keep Giannis, they get into the playoffs. But as far as
Magic and Hawks aren't in that guarantee.
Magic's better than Detroit, bro. I hate to break the news.
Magic has.
I think. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I think the East is being underrated.
So
I think they have 6
prove they have a healthy season, or guys can stay healthy throughout the season. I would say that, but if they're fully healthy, I can say Magic is getting.
I think it mean 5.
Pistons. Yeah, maybe it's 5. Cavs, Knicks, Pistons, Magic, Hawks would be 5.
Yeah, that's 5.
And then but
not guaranteed.
Joel Embiid.
Yeah,
is 5
for sure.
I will just say that. I'm not saying he's gonna be healthy, but
sure.
he's already scrimmaging. I'm just do that information what you will, and they would be my 16.
If Embiid plays 63 games this year, they're a top 3 seed.
There's so many questions in the East. Some of the answers are going to be yes.
I'm just hoping for 48.
Like, either the Embiid is going to be, or like someone is going to, like from the East is going to come up and someone's come down.
I do want to say about the Pacers. Obviously, they made a magical run last year. I would be crazy to say that they'll do that again. But keep in mind, they are literally bringing everybody back, minus Miles Turner. You add Jay Huff into there. When I look at this roster, they still have a good collection of guys. So I believe still have a good offense. You still got Rick Carlisle as your coach. Their small ball lineups are going to be ridiculous with Pascal at the 5. And then you throw Obi in there. You throw, let's say, Jarris Walker take a step forward. He played all right in the playoffs.
I'm optimistic about Jarris Walker and
Johnny
Furphy. I'm intrigued about both.
Yeah,
Ron, who has a better chance without their number 1 to be a playoff team, Celtics or Pacers?
Well, Celtics are not just down their number 1; they're down like their number 4.
I think the Pacers are going to be better than Boston this year.
I agree.
I can agree.
I also think Boston is just more will to tank. Let's say it like that.
Yeah, I think Boston gutted
Boston's
their
front
roster.
court is horrific. So,
Boston gutted their
Sam
roster.
Hauser and Keita.
And I'm gonna see Luka Garza get legit minutes. Like, come on, man. I'm Luka Garza FC, but goddamn,
I've seen Luka fry before. Shout out to my dog.
No, he gonna have a game where he have like 28 and 12, and then be like,
who is playing big for the Celtics?
Keita and Luka Garza, and
they lost Cornette to the Spurs,
and they got Chris Boucher.
No, the other one from Memphis.
Oh, Xavier Tillman.
Yeah. They got 4 bigs.
Is Xavier Tillman a startable big, especially at the 5 for 82?
No,
I'm about a 6'9" center.
Yeah, but offensively, Xavier Tillman just provides nothing.
Xavier just needs an opportunity, man.
Chris Boucher is a horrible defender. Luka Garza is a horrible defender. Keita is like the best you can get. And like
Keita's good though. I think Keita he should be your Diabate this year.
He's not gonna be my Diabate. Diabate will always be my Diabate.
That's sad.
My glorious King Diabate. Come on.
That's sad.
All right, well, if you guys hate what you're hearing right now about the Celtics or about the Pacers or even about the Bulls ownership, what you need to do is get you some Raycon Everyday Earbud Classics. Because with these earbuds, you essentially have the opportunity to control what you hear and what bullshit you don't want to hear, because they have active noise cancellation. So anytime Big Ox gets to talking bullshit, I put in my Raycons. Anytime Chilltown gets to talking old shit, I put on my Raycons. Anytime Mars gets to talking foreign shit, I put on my Raycons. And that's how I make it through the day, y'all. And anytime Swiper gets to talking the things that they do in Atlanta, I put in my Raycons. And the beautiful part about it is I have multi-point connectivity. So it doesn't matter where I'm at. It doesn't matter if I'm in my car, I can connect to the Bluetooth in the car. It doesn't matter if I'm at home, I can connect to my computer. It doesn't matter if I'm on the road, I can connect to my phone. Anywhere I go, I can connect to a device. And I have up to 32 hours, so there is no dying with the Raycon Everyday Earbud Classics. And with the code PCS, you and only you can get 20% off of these beautiful headphones. It doesn't matter if you want them in the color black. It doesn't matter if you want them in the color mint green. It doesn't matter if you want them in the color rose gold. It doesn't matter if you want the nice blue. You'll be able to do your thing with these right here. So go ahead and use code PCS. Get 20% off and block out bozos like this.
Ron and Ox, y'all staying in the same room together?
Nah. But anyways,
hold on. Don't go away from the Pacers yet. Don't go away from the Pacers yet. Because I was.
Ron, I'm just asking a question. Answer the questions. I've never seen a couch in the two. I've never seen.
We're talking about basketball right now, Spike. I don't got time to play with you. Look. I want to talk about the Pacers. I want to talk about the Pacers, y'all. Ron, I think you made some really good points right there. I was listening, and I mean, they lost Miles Turner. who I'm not very high on. I think
they got J Huff. They improved. Yeah, they got J.
Yeah, they got.
Y'all really think they improved with J Huff over Miles Turner?
I'm not even.
You don't know how much I love J Huff.
Absolutely not.
I don't think so.
J Huff is amazing.
Miles Turner, 3-level scorer, also play defense. Come on now.
If he played defense, then J Huff played defense.
Miles Turner was getting in the way a lot of the times in the playoffs last year too. So like regardless of if J Huff is better or not, at least they replaced him with something. J Huff is a decent basketball player. I think we can agree on that at the least, right? So and then Obi Toppin getting a little more minutes, like Ron said, their small ball lineup is good. On top of that, it's not like TJ McConnell's not there to run that point guard position. You know what I mean? So
he's injured right now.
Yeah, I saw that, but it's not crazy though, right? Like
it could be a month.
A month or so. Yeah, a month or so.
A month. That's no big deal. A month is nothing, right? So
I mean, those are losses that are going to be permanent on your record.
Oh yeah, a month is nothing. A month is no big deal. Be back. I think the Pacers still actually have a pretty good basketball team. I expect them to be in the playoffs.
In the top 6 when you say that?
Fighting for six. I don't know if they'll be. I don't know if they'll quite get there, but I mean, I mean, most of y'all know how good I think TJ McConnell is. So I think that could be fighting for 6. Maybe probably a playing team, but they'll make some noise and they'll make a run for sure.
Mm-hmm. I can agree if they're going for that. I can agree.
I agree.
All right, y'all. Well, we are going to keep it pushing, and what we're going to keep it pushing to is the top 5 comments of the week. Now, I know we got 3 other games we got to get to. I know we got a GM survey that we got to get to, but more importantly, we got comments from viewers that had good things to say about some of the bad things that maybe we did, or maybe some of the good things we did. Well, let's see what it is. This is the first comment of the week. It's from a certain guy named Damian Peters, NBA. Damian Peters said, appreciate every single one of y'all.
I replied to that comment. Shout out to Damian.
Appreciate you too, Damian. The next comment is from Trim Duncan, episode 660. Trim said, Penn's intro was so hilarious to me, I don't even know why, but that's the funniest thing he's done.
Marge, what did I miss on this intro? You were probably
what was the intro? I wasn't listening.
Penn's intro?
What?
So I have any context for what that means?
I have no idea what they're talking about.
660. Is that the episode where he said he's gonna talk less?
Oh, could be.
Let me see. 660. Where we at?
Yalmar, man. What's up, bro? I haven't said what's up to y'all. What's up, casual? Yalmar, man. My man had the football highlights that we was going through live on the stream, bro. Shout out to my dog, man.
It's good.
You've been here for 30 minutes, bro.
I know, but I haven't had sense to hello yet.
All right, well, on to the next comment of the week. Shout out to Penn's intro. This is from Tay Luke 777, episode 658. This is what Otis had to say. Marcus Smart is out of the league if he doesn't work. He's going to play with a sense of desperation similar to Aiden. That'll bring the best out.
It was the episode where Penn said he would talk less.
Well, good. Hell of an intro.
Yeah.
Y'all think Marcus Smart's gonna play at the top tier level?
Top tier?
The top tier level for Marcus Smart? Like, obviously, we're not saying he's gonna be yeah. I don't think Marcus Smart is washed. I never thought that. Watching him in Washington, I think he was still Marcus Smart.
Just gotta stay healthy. Just gotta stay healthy. That's
yeah. Like, if Marcus Smart's there, like I think Marcus Smart is gonna be Marcus Smart. I think he's a really good player.
Yeah, when they run that gimmicky defense, he's gonna be an absolute nightmare. At the point of attack, and they run a zone behind him, yeah, he's gonna be a nightmare.
So yeah, I think actually a funny thing, because people talk a lot about DeAndre Ayton and this being a contract year. I actually wrote my bachelor thesis about NFL players and contract years. There's actually not that much actual evidence that players play much better in contract years.
I agree. I think it's like a media narrative that we kind of just like create up because we all think. I agree. Kind of players just like play the same.
All right, y'all. The next comment of the week is from S.2. S.2 on episode 658 had this to say. There has to be a phrase of the year, in my opinion. Nominees thus far. Number 1, swipers, to be fair. Number 2, chills. I'm glad you brought that up. Hasn't said it too much recently, though. Number 3 is pins, yo, with whatever face that emoji is. And number 4 is swipers. What's that?
Shout out to my dog.
Oh yeah. I love that. Yeah, look, shout out to my dog. Shout out to my dog. I love that.
Hey,
that's cool.
He even said it twice.
Shout out to Nielsen for knowing that too, man.
Yeah,
Shout
that's
out
cool.
to
I didn't even know that. Matter of fact, I need to get some shirts, some PC shirts, man. Shout out to my dog. What was the first one? My first saying, Ron?
To be fair.
You
I like that. Focus, Ron. That's another one too. Zod, that's a good one.
100%.
Yeah, that's another one right there.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
I got a few phrases. Mars. Now, I'm just asking questions. That should be yours. that should be yours.
I'm just curious, man. Oh, we need the intellectual curiosity shirt for sure. We need that.
Yeah.
We need a real talk. We need a real talk. I don't believe this, but you do. So I'm making an argument based on what you believe. That needs to be like a turn of phrase. Sure. Yeah.
Shout out to Real Talk. He been getting fried on Twitter last night. So shout out to him.
What do you do?
He was hating on Shea.
I don't think he should. I don't think that was fry worthy. I think he was in the
I mean, people are frying him, whether or not it's worthy of him being fried. He getting fried from all angles. He trying to defend himself. I'm just enjoying my time.
Yeah, I'm Real Talk.
I'm re-listening to a lot of episodes.
Ron, what's one of your favorite phrases that you use?
That I use?
Yeah.
Superchat.
You do that a lot.
I mean, when you do that one.
I mean, my favorite phrase is shout out to the Hall of Famers.
Shout out to the Hall of Famers. That's another one.
Okay, buddy. Yeah, okay.
That's really it, you know?
And then in person, your favorite phrase is what?
I want you to stay right there. That's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Ox, what's your favorite phrase?
Oh, I don't even pay attention to the chat. That's what we need. I don't even be paying attention to the chat. As he pays attention to the chat the whole show. That's what I need.
There just needs to be a picture of Ox eating.
Special.
Eating every show. Let's shout out to my dude, man. Shout out to my dog.
Your sustenance, man.
Yo, this chicken right here.
You need to come.
Was that
better? Ron, did you have some of those wings? Or better than the wings in Atlanta?
No. Ain't nothing better than them Trae Young wings in Atlanta. Nothing.
Yeah, cash.
If we're using that logic, then something that has nothing to do with that logic, that happens a lot.
That's a solid one.
There's so many chillism, it's crazy. It's like half of these are just chill.
All right, y'all. The last comment that we got. Did we do this one? Did this one. This is the last comment that we got. It's from Edu 5. Said my West rankings, tier 1 contenders. You have OKC and the Nuggets.
Right,
Tier 2, very dangerous playoff team. The Clippers, Wolves, and Warriors. Tier 3, can make noise. Lakers, Rockets, Mavs. Tier 4, enjoy the play-in, buddies. Spurs, Grizzlies, Blazers. Tier 5, definitely out of the play-in. Pelicans, Kings, Suns. Ouch. In tier 5, another tier 5. Or tier 6, he probably meant to put. Tier 6, you just have the Jazz, which is the Jazz. How y'all like this?
We better than the Grizzlies.
That tier 2 is atrocious. I'm sorry. That tier 2.
Yeah, put the tier 2 up again, please.
That tier 2 is atrocious. The Wolves, 100%. But my God, no one has better PR than the Clippers and the Warriors. Why
are the Clippers? Can we hold on, please? Can I ask why? Can we please stop this anti-Clippers gimmick, please?
Can I share why?
Because it's not going to be based on basketball. I'm here.
No, he's going to say why the Lakers.
Very dangerous, known dangerous playoff team, Los Angeles Clippers. Yeah, sure. Known dangerous playoff team, Los Angeles Clippers. Known dangerous playoff team, Golden State Warriors in the last few years. Yeah, this oldest team in the league. Known dangerous team.
Okay, so who should be in that
team? Half the roster yesterday.
Who should be in that team?
Houston. Houston's better than those teams.
Better than the Clippers.
Known dangerous playoff team. Rockets. That lost in round 1.
Better than those teams.
No point.
Why are they better than the Clippers right now?
Based on the known dangerous playoff team.
May I ask a question? Why are they better than the Clippers right now?
Since James Harden left. Won 3 games.
Why are they better than the Clippers right now?
I don't know.
trying to ignore you, Mark.
No, Fred VanVleet just got hurt. I just remember that.
Yeah,
No, wait. He
can't. All the other teams, and
he
then
just
ignore the
moved.
history
Yeah, I
of
want to
the
know.
Rockets.
So give me the answer. Why are they better? Why are they better than the Clippers right now?
Well, now with
Based on no. Based on what you just said, because you so definitively said Houston better, and then you forgot somehow that the main point guard in their team is gone. So why are the Houston Rockets better than the Los Angeles Clippers?
Because I like how their players are progressing.
I like how their players are
progressing. Thompson. I like what I can get from Şengün in their progression. I know what I'm going to get out of the Clippers now.
What are you getting out of Şengün?
I know what I'm going to get out of the Clippers now. Okay, I'm going to.
Şengün had his worst year as a scorer last year.
What is it that you know about the Clippers?
What Zubac was amazing in the playoffs.
I just don't think you can make the argument that the Warriors and Clippers are there because of PR, because the history of them shows that they're not dangerous, and then say the Rockets are above them. That just sounds illogical.
Not only does it sound illogical, Mars, it is illogical.
Beat the Rockets in a playoff series last year, and before that, the Rockets hadn't even sniffed the playoffs any of the other years. So the history of the Rockets would suggest that they have no business being in that tier. But you was very animated to get them in that tier. But
the history of the Rockets with James Harden.
Also, the Clippers are just crazy deep right now.
6 years ago,
they fell off a map after James Harden left their franchise, and James Harden proceeded to make the playoffs in every year he left.
Exactly, the history of the Rockets that we've seen the last 4 years. The same time frame that you just used for the Clippers and the Warriors.
Really have a history.
But this is a different Rockets.
That's my point.
Yeah,
no history.
Wait, hold on.
No history to use against.
Let me hold on. Let me ask a direct question.
You can't throw them in tier 2 over the Clippers and the Warriors because the Clippers and the Warriors history says that they're not going to do anything.
Mars,
when the Rockets have no history,
he brought the history stuff up, but that's not helpful for this conversation. I understand you're trying to cook him on his point, which is fair. Casual. Who will have a better between the Clippers? Who will have the better defense, better offense, and better shot making by next year, by playoff time, between the Clippers and Houston Rockets as currently constructed?
Well, I'm not going to lie. I forgot Fred VanVleet got hurt. Yeah, he's going to be out for the season. That's going to hurt their
You
point.
can just admit you're wrong if you forgot.
So I'll take back the Rockets. Yeah, the Clippers are slightly better now. If they don't have Fred VanVleet, that's brutal. But I still don't trust the Clippers, though.
Facts.
Again, I don't think the Clippers are this very dangerous playoff team. Yes, on paper, they look good.
Facts.
But they come into the postseason limping, or they just don't show up, especially in a big spot, a game 6, game 7. Gotta have it.
They showed up in game 6 this year.
Where's James Harden?
James Harden
who
specifically.
should be in that tier?
All right, then what happened game 7, Swiper? They got blown out.
They lost. They lost. Who should be in that tier?
Well, I don't think there's that many very dangerous teams in the West. Everyone's just like.
So you think it should just be the Timberwolves?
Just empty?
Yeah,
Just the Wolves?
So the tier should just be the Timberwolves.
And then everyone else is kind of like tier 3 with the Lakers, the Rockets, the
that's fine.
Clippers.
That's fine.
I get what you mean, though, Casual.
The
Because
Warriors, they just have,
Wait, what do the Wolves have better than the Clippers to you then? Can I ask that question?
Are the Warriors really that much better than like the Lakers? Are the Warriors that much better than the Lakers?
No,
Yes.
Are the Warriors that much better than Dallas?
Yes.
nah.
Like,
What
really?
tier did he have Dallas in?
That tier with the Lakers, I believe. The tier 3.
No, he didn't. He had him below that. Oh no, he did.
No, he has them with the tier with the Lakers.
Yeah, tier 3.
Like, are the Warriors a tier better than the Lakers?
Yes.
No, I don't think
I don't
so,
think
but
they are.
I just want to. I'm trying to understand the Clippers
Warriors
point. Like,
have
what do you feel like they're missing?
It's because they're the Clippers.
Clippers is
Showing
missing,
up.
bro.
Hell.
If you put this exact Clippers team, like
I get what
you
you mean.
transported this exact roster, exact coaching staff, and just made them the San Antonio Spurs, everyone would be fine with them being in tier 2.
Yes.
But because
Exactly.
they are called the Los Angeles Clippers, nah.
That's a lie.
Like, literally, I
No,
promise
no.
you,
Nah,
if you
I
have
don't-
this exact roster,
lie.
Kawhi Leonard, Zoo,
What are
James
they missing,
Harden,
Casual?
Chris Paul,
Showing up.
Bradley Beal,
I don't know what
Tyler,
that means.
if you put that roster on the San Antonio
That's a
Spurs
lie.
logo and put them in Texas,
but
people would be very
Casual.
fine with
The
them
thing that
Anyone
that
call
most
it-
frustrates me about the Clippers conversation, the last 2 times they've been healthy, they've lost in 7 games to one team. 7 games. In 2020 they were fully healthy. In 2024 they were fully 5.
Was health
2025 they were fully
Is
healthy.
health not an issue?
Yeah, but so
Health-
we're
that's why
assuming
they're
health for all
dangerous.
these teams. Every
Were they not
team
healthy
getting the
last
health
year?
benefit.
Were they
Right
not
now, the
healthy?
Lakers are getting a health benefit. The Wolves are getting a health benefit.
and they lost to a really
I
good
think-
team that's in tier 1.
I think this is the same issue we had the Bulls like
In 7 games, mind you.
Yeah, they lost to a tier 1 team
In 7 games.
and they lost one of those games to a freak dunk putback.
Well, it would have been in overtime after that. So, you know.
Yeah,
who
I'm
knows?
not saying they would have won the game, but I'm saying like the margins were fine. It was fine margins. Game 7, obviously. they
Game
got-
7
yeah,
is
yeah.
not a fine margin, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm not saying Game 7 was a fine margin, but I'm saying the series was a close series, it was a competitive series that the Clippers could have won, and that's a tier 1 team. by most people's expectations. But nah, just tier 2.
I don't think.
Wait, hold on. But why is Denver substantially better than the Clippers then, Casual? Like, is that just Jokic? That for you? Is that what that is?
Yep. Is always available. Kawhi is not always available. Harden is not always
Kawhi was available though.
I know what I'm going to get out of the Nuggets. I'm going to get championship level basketball.
The Nuggets get blown out more than anybody else in the playoff, mind you.
How do you know what you're going to get from the Nuggets when the Nuggets are one of the most inconsistent?
They don't get out the first round.
I know I'm going to get
even in 2024. They were one of the more inconsistent teams in the playoffs. So the Nuggets can be inconsistent in the 2024 playoffs and inconsistent in the 2025 playoffs, but you know what you're going to get.
I know
based
I'm
on what?
get from the Denver. What?
Well, the Nuggets are guaranteed to get blown out at least once or twice.
Based on what the Nuggets have shown the last 2 years, 2024 and the 2025 playoffs, they have been one of the most inconsistent teams, whether that be the defense, whether that be the offense, whether that be the shot making from role players, whatever the case may be. They have been one of the most inconsistent teams the last 2 postseasons they have participated in.
And they still been a game away from the conference finals in both those years.
Exactly. Arguing against that.
So I'm saying that's why I know I'm going to
But he's arguing your consistency point.
Very clearly inconsistent.
Yeah, he's arguing your consistency point. Who's going to
They can win a game, they can go beat OKC and then lose the next game by 40. They've been very inconsistent. So how do you know what you're going to get
by that
from
measure,
one of the most inconsistent teams?
But what I'm saying is I know what I'm going to get. I know where they're going to probably be at by the end of the year, and that's going to be pushing for a championship.
But the last 2 years they've been knocked out in the second round. But the last 2 years they've been knocked out in the second round. Is that pushing for a championship?
They're game 7 in the second round.
The Clippers lost
were game 7 versus the same team.
Clippers don't get out the first round, though. That's
they played the Nuggets in the first round.
The Nuggets,
but they don't get out. I would have passed
game 7,
the first round. You look at
Nuggets Clippers right here.
The year before that,
so the Clippers, the Nuggets go to round 2 and lose in game 7, championship. Cool, they're playing at championship level. The Clippers lose to that Nuggets team in game 7. Oh, the Clippers gone clip.
The Nuggets got blown out.
They were up 20. Okay, there's a difference. There's a difference between being up 20 in a game 7 that you should have closed and then getting blown out by 20 in a game 7.
The Nuggets got blown out by 30.
Back to my inconsistency point. What was the score in the game 7 Nuggets versus Denver?
I don't know. 150 to 120.
Denver just played a game 7 against OKC. What was the score?
I forgot, but OKC.
It was a blowout. 30 points, maybe.
Are we seeing what's going on?
Yes.
Like, I'm not even saying the Clippers are as good as the Nuggets. What I'm saying is these arguments don't make sense.
Don't make sense at all, Mars. Not even a little bit.
Just call it what it is. The Clippers are gone clip. That's what you think it is. It's not no rational logic. It's I don't believe in the Clippers because they're called the Clippers. That's it. Because every argument you've made is inconsistent. It doesn't make sense.
It's not because
every argument you just made doesn't make 125 to 93.
Absolutely not.
125 to 93.
Problems.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter if they're. It doesn't. To me, it doesn't matter if they're called the Clippers. They could be called the Dallas Mavericks. But if James Harden, if I'm going to cross my fingers, what he's going to do in a big spot in a game 7, I don't know what I'm going to get from him, and I don't know if Kawhi Leonard's going to be healthy. Just stuff like that. That's it. They could.
What are you going to get?
What
are you going to get from Jokic?
Wait. But to be fair, but no, hold on, Mark. The point to really counter here is the Houston Rockets. What have the Houston Rockets shown you at all in any game 7? In any game 7,
I was trying to make earlier. The Rockets
at all.
The Rockets just lost in game 7 to a Warriors team that you said no one's worried about.
Two things. I took.
And the Warriors team wasn't even healthy. Jimmy wasn't even.
Two things. I took back my Rockets take. Number 1, I took that back. I said.
So wait, but the Wolves do the Wolves now? But why are the Wolves so much better?
Have the Wolves not been back-to-back conference finals?
Oh, but Mars, I got. Who did they played? And by the way, hold on. And by the way, the Wolves last year didn't play versus one of the tier 1 teams. That's number 1. They played versus a very not so great Lakers team. Dog walked them, and then they played versus a hurt Warriors team right after that. It was no competition.
And then they got blitzed.
And then they got blown blown off, like foot through the door versus the Thunder in 5.
So do you believe the Wolves are the State?
What'd you say?
So do you believe the Wolves are the
No, I think the Clippers are better than what you're giving them credit for. It's my whole argument.
I said it at the beginning. I like the Clippers roster. I've always have been. Their roster looks really good on paper, but when it's time to get it done, something doesn't happen.
Marge's point, you think the Clippers are going to clip
against Cleveland, but we can't use it against Clippers. These they show up hurt every year, and when they've been healthy, they get smoked out. What have they done? And you said 2020. Well, they blew a lead in 2020, dude.
Long story short, Clippers going to clean it.
No, but I think if I can defend him, I think he's saying it's more about the players than it's the franchise, the Clippers. It's not that it's Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, Bradley.
The Clippers
Beal,
have more
Tyler.
good players than the Wolves do.
Oh, you don't trust healthy Kawhi to show up? Because obviously this list is permitting health. We all know that. We're not. That's why he had that. That's why he had them, assuming health. So you're saying you don't trust healthy Kawhi Leonard to show up and perform?
He didn't show up in Game 7. I don't think so.
Okay. So once again, back to my point. How did Jokic perform in the past 2 Game 7s he played?
Get it, Mars.
Well, Jokic did not have a great end to this. Let me look at Jokic's stats. Thunder.
He was 13 points. 16 points, I think. I think he had 16 points in the first one. I mean, he started off 0-6. Him and Murray 0-6, by the way. And then in the next one, he started off 17, 7, 6, and had 3 points in the second half.
The Thunder ran away with
the
that game.
Caruso masterclass. Yeah.
A lot of turnovers as well. Was getting ripped. J-Dub and Caruso.
How did Jamal Murray play in those Game 7s?
Oh my God! And now you want to talk about
Jamal Murray's the inconsistent part of the Nuggets. Jamal Murray's the inconsistent part of the Nuggets.
Yeah, you don't know what you're going to get from him.
Okay, so it sounds like we don't know what we're going to get from the Nuggets. Crazy.
All right, fellas.
What you're going to get. I get the consistency of play, but at least one thing with the Nuggets, they're going to be somewhat healthy compared to the Clippers. Be healthy enough to go up and play.
Well, they haven't been healthy the last 2 playoffs.
2024, Jamal Murray's not healthy. 2025, Aaron Gordon's not healthy. MPJ's not healthy. So do we know they're going to be healthy, or are we just saying that to say it?
If they're not healthy,
they haven't been healthy the last 2 years in the playoffs.
Our player is healthy enough to at least get them some sort of.
Yeah, but obviously he can't do the job by himself. Yeah, that's what we're saying.
You said the team is going to be healthy.
Okay. Yes.
The Nuggets haven't been healthy in the last 2 seasons.
Game by game, these postseasons with Michael Porter Jr. is now gone.
They were last year.
Michael Porter Jr. is now gone, but game by game with Denver, they haven't been consistent in these past 2 years. But overall, they finished the game away with the conference.
To be fair, the only year the Nuggets haven't been blown out in the playoff is 2023. That's the only time they've ever not had a double-digit loss at any point in the playoffs. They have double-digit losses in 2020, double-digit losses in 19, double-digit losses in 21, especially double-digit losses in 22 to the Warriors in the first round, and then double-digit losses like 40-point losses versus the Wolves and a 30-point loss versus the Thunder in the very next year. They will get blown out next year unless they're just on some demon time and they're just like, we're just going to walk everybody. I just doubt that's going to happen. But I just think for me, everybody knows. I'm from Denver, represent I think the Clippers are a lot better than people give them credit for. That's all I'm saying. I just think people, for whatever reason, are down on the Clippers. They just think the Clippers are, they aren't going to show up, this and that. James Harden doesn't miss the playoffs. Well, he's James Harden. Kawhi Leonard's one of the 10, 15 best players in the sport. Well, he's Kawhi Leonard. Like, is he going to be healthy? We played 36 games last year.
But do
I? And then he played 68 games the year before. He was great for the most part in the first round.
Because you guys were trying to say, well, the Rockets have no history. Well, if you have no history, you have no history used against you. What I'm trying to say is, what is different this year for me to believe that it's just going to change in Los Angeles? It's going to be different this year. That they're actually going to push.
Well, they haven't played
than they ever have.
Here, Casual. No, Mars. But Mars, Casual, can you at least acknowledge this point? If they're healthy and they have the benefit of avoiding Denver for the first time ever since Kawhi has been there when they've been fully healthy, they will have a better chance to win those series than playing versus Denver, who is their probably worst matchup in the playoffs. Even though they've gone 7, that's their worst matchup in the playoffs in every year they've been healthy. If they have a chance to play versus anybody else, maybe it's up.
I've said since day one.
Because they lost doesn't mean that's their worst match.
Well, I think in 2020,
I do think the Nuggets are a tough match.
The problem is when they get in, I just can't.
It's the way they have to invert their defense.
I can't trust them when it's time to get to April and May.
I think OKC is.
No, I disagree, but I'm saying I disagree with that. I think
the Clippers on paper, Ty Lue to the top to bottom of this roster, depth, defense, 2 stars, great team. Don't get me wrong. I've said it since the beginning of the show. I think this Clippers team is really good, but I just can't trust them when it comes to April and May, and they haven't shown you anything in April and May the last 6 years to make you believe that they're this very dangerous
team. Who did they beat in the first round of 2020?
The Warriors showed you a
championship 3 years ago. Weird PR, and that everyone tries to put them in this
Mars, who did they beat in the first round of 2020?
Top-tier team above the Lakers. Seriously.
Casual.
One second.
Oh, they went 7 in that series, right?
Compare them to the Lakers. Why do the Clippers get much more benefit down the postseason than the Lakers? Why do the Clippers?
We just got beat in the first round in 5 games.
you guys
dog walk too. I'm talking. Hey,
you guys.
Yo,
The Lakers look like a
in the first round.
The Lakers look like a train.
they're 1-8. By the way,
fellas, everybody got to stop yelling over each other. Cavs was in the middle of making a point. Y'all keep cutting them off.
Well, he asked the
He
question.
asked
He
the
said,
question.
he asked the question, Ron. Where you at? Get off of Black Planet and pay attention to the show.
The Clippers are better than the Lakers. You could say that the Clippers are better than the Lakers, but I don't think the Clippers.
Real talk. You making matches on Black Planet. You're not listening.
They're a tier above the Lakers. I disagree. That's why my whole
You
point
go ArizonaMeat.com.
my whole point in the beginning was that the Clippers just for some reason have this like magical PR in NBA circles where they're penciled in as the very top contenders when they haven't shown you in May and April that they are one of the top contenders. You could say that they're better than the Lakers, but they're not a tier better than the Lakers.
Look at the rosters, Casual. Yeah. You can acknowledge that this isn't the same team from 6 years ago. You can acknowledge this isn't the same team from last year. I think sometimes sometimes we continue just to look at the jersey and forget that we're supposed to look at the person wearing the jersey. When you add John Collins, Brook Lopez, I know y'all hate Bradley Beal for some weird reason, but when you add Bradley Beal, you know what I mean? I think Chris Paul, I think it's a different team as last year. So when you have a different roster, and I've always hated that. I've always hated when people be like, "Oh, well, 6 years ago, this team, 6 years ago, ain't none of these niggas was on the team." You know what I mean? So it's like this is a completely
used to be getting coached by Doc Rivers. Like this ain't the same.
It's just different rosters, and that's my only pushback to what you're saying. Like you're 100% right. The Clippers have been disappointing. From what a lot of us have expected.
Been the biggest disappointment the last 6 years.
Real quick. Hold on. Regardless of what the reason is, whether it's injury or if they just got popped, or if James Harden and Kawhi sold in Game 7. Regardless of what the reason is, yes, they've been disappointing. But we also have to acknowledge that the rosters have been changing up, and that's my only pushback to your statement.
Yo, Joe Money
changes, but they still have the two best. Their two best players are the same.
Yes, but it's not what it's about. It's about the whole entire roster, Caswell. It's like,
but that's the thing. Clippers on paper, you could argue that they've had the best roster on paper since Kawhi and Harden has been there. Since they've been there, you can make an argument that they've had the best paper roster in the past few years since they've been there. But yet they still haven't really done much in terms to give us belief that anything's going to be different following the next year. Like, so I get what you mean, Casual, and I agree with you on this because history just shows since they've had the Kawhi, James Harden, even when they had Paul George at one point, they never did anything. They just disappointed us year after year, but continued to get the hype year after year.
Continue to get the dangerous playoff team level, but when you see them in the playoffs, they're not that dangerous. They're still a good team, but they're not that dangerous. They don't push far enough to get this dangerous level.
Ever.
Yo, Joe Money, I know you've been trying to chime in, so go ahead. I'll give you the last word on this, and then we got to move on to the next thing.
I would like to say something about that.
No.
Hey, real talk. Real talk. You showed up late to the party, brother.
So I think there's more agreement than you guys actually make it sound like. I think Casual, you're right. I don't think anyone trusts the Clippers. I think what we're saying is there is potential if it clicks, if it all goes right. And I think you see the same thing. Like if they are healthy, then they have that depth. They look like a bad boys Pistons team with a lot of depth, 10 good players. I think we all agree with that. And the tier was also dangerous. That doesn't mean they're the favorites. That doesn't mean you should trust them. But it's like if they hit, then it could hit. And I think we all agree with that. But I also think you, Casual and Manny, you're doing what's called conjunction biases. You're just conjunction all of these years together, and you're not really realizing that there's difference between this year's and the previous years.
They either show up injured or they show up healthy.
Our brain is trained to see these patterns, and we see, the Clippers were bad with Kawhi in 2020. So I think the same is going to happen now. But it's also, you got to be open to the same accidents of COVID and the bubble or injuries to Kawhi's knees might not happen again. And it could happen. Kawhi could get injured, and then I think we all agree the Clippers are not in it. But we're just saying, on the chance that he actually is healthy in the playoffs, I think we all think they could be a really, really good team. So I think
my point was I'm not falling for it again. If they do go far, congratulations. This is.
But I don't think anyone is asking you to fall for anything.
I'm not falling for the bait, bro.
Yeah,
it's not a 0% chance, right? What do you think the chance is that Kawhi is healthy?
Not big.
Very little.
Zero?
He's healthy right now. Y'all seen him last night?
You
Right
think
now.
zero?
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't say zero.
I don't know when you have
And
whatever Kawhi's
I
dealing
wouldn't
with.
And
There's
that's
no
the
way
problem.
to predict
Kawhi
that.
needs to show up ready to go.
30,
Or
40,
year.
50,
Every
60,
You got a
50.
30% chance. That's good odds. I'll take that.
Yeah, if you got a 30%, like there is 30%, and then the other guys also have to be healthy, and then.
There you go. Oldest roster in the league. How many old guys did they sign this year? A lot of old
But
guys.
like, if they have like a
A
15%
few- yeah,
chance
a
of
few
winning
Chris
a chance,
Paul, Brook
of being
Lopez,
right
that
there,
old.
that's
A lot
still
of
a
old
good
guys.
chance.
John Collins isn't old, but yeah, they got 2 old guys.
Yep. On top of their 2 stars who are like
CP3,
33.
On top of
34.
Kawhi and James Harden being old, yeah.
This Clippers team remind me of when Charles Barkley and all of them teamed up on the Houston Rockets.
It reminds me of the bad
And
boys.
everyone in their right mind would have called that.
You know
team
who's
over the
also
Clippers.
super old and signed half their roster like 2 days ago? Golden State, who somehow also gets that same level of PR. I'm good.
The
All right,
Lakers' problem is just they don't have more than 3 good players.
Before we move on to the Milwaukee Bucks, I do have some more super chats I want to read. So let's go ahead and make this happen. The first one is from Tupac Westside. Tupac said, "Happy Friday, Swiper." Go ahead and move you up here, buddy. Technical difficulties. Damn. Happy Friday, Swiper. I was wondering if you got my tweet about the apparent high five rule that the NBA is introducing and your thoughts on it. Honestly, I don't think it'll do a lot more than I think it will do a lot more harm than good. What's the high five rule?
So apparently
If you smack a
implemented.
shooter's hand, it's a foul.
Yeah, if officiating point of emphasis that calls a foul on defender per secondary contact with the shooter's hand, wrist, or arm after the ball has been released. I mean, it's a foul. Like if you push the hand up, like push the arm up or the hand or any part of this, it obviously affects the shot. So it depends on how ticky-tacky it is. Is it like the ball's fully released and then you hit afterwards? Like then that's now we're getting to different Mars, because my biggest gripe with the NBA and officiating is not the way the product is officiated in terms of like who gets the foul calls, whatever. It's really about guards and perimeter players are given foul calls that are not given to interior players. You're allowed to be much more physical with interior players than you are on the perimeter because the way that you're able to view the play. I think that's actually the thing that needs to change more. So if this just means that perimeter players get more calls, but then it doesn't change on the paint, because the thing is, real talk, when you go up for a layup or a dunk, if I hit you on your arm or hand, they assume because you're right next to the basket, you're more than likely to make it. Therefore, your shot's not going to be deterred. So they're less likely to call the foul, as opposed to if you do a step back and take a mid-range jumper and then you get hit, then it's like it clearly affected the play. So I just think there has to be consistency on where they're calling that foul.
I just think like there's always going to be more physicality allowed on the interior because, I mean, similarly to football, like you could theoretically call a hold on every play if you wanted to. There's somebody on the line that could, by letter of the law, committed a hold, but they're into so much physicality because they're big bodies interacting with each other all the time. That kind of, it needs to have some kind of leeway as far as allowing physicality. Otherwise, these bigs would just foul out the game regularly.
But don't you think there needs to be? Because I think at the other end, it's like a lot of teams do this. Mars members, Embiid, Marcus Smart, Horford to a degree, and even though he's not that smaller, obviously Jokic. Then you got Giannis. You put smaller players in those players, you can't establish position to the same degree as you can versus other bigs. Like when I get another big, like Ox knows, being a center, being a power forward, I can leverage my body and get underneath and just get there, and I can do whatever I got to do to establish position. But when you're like a smaller player, because of the frame, like if you move them too hard, then it's they do this, and then like now it's an offensive foul. So I just think there has to be some regulation of how they're actually officiating, like the interior and then the exterior of the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, but
high five is a foul. That's where I'm at. I just don't think it's a foul.
I agree. I think it needs to just be the consistency. The consistency is the biggest part, because there's nothing more frustrating than seeing a person go up for a shot and get hit on marginal contact on a wrist or whatever, no call, or get the call, and then somebody goes up for a layup and the same exact thing happens. Like it just has to be that consistency. But without it, the game is like manipulated in too many ways when there is no consistency in terms of what is a foul and what's not a foul.
All right, Tupac Westside sent through another $10 super chat and said, also, I think the Lakers will be fine without LeBron temporarily. They can just start Rui at the 4 since it's more of his natural position. Reeves probably starts and maybe Vando too. Sorry, Mars. LOL.
Apologizing to me. Ain't my team.
Yeah, I think the Lakers will be fine.
Their schedule looks favorable early on in the season for amongst West teams. So I don't know. It's just whether or not they start the season strong.
LeBron is having nerve injuries now. I mean,
it's a common nerve injury though for athletes. Just nerve irritation.
Real talk. You've had sciatic issues, haven't you?
No, I haven't. But you've had scraping issues, huh?
Scraping?
Yeah,
what?
when you have to put that razor to that big ass head of yours, you nick yourself every now and again, huh?
Sure,
but no, I think the Lakers will be fine because we have Luka Doncic, and so Luka Doncic and also Reeves in a regular season setting. Offensively, we'll be fine. We'll be able to play Vando a little bit more. So we'll be fine. We'll be okay. Now it is concerning that LeBron can't even start the season.
It's the first time.
This is the first time. This is new. So I mean, I hope he's okay. I really hope he's
Just
okay.
think about it. LeBron hasn't practiced this summer. He's not going to have a preseason.
Well, he shot around with Castanet.
Yeah, he did. I guess that counts on Begathon. But he's
2 for 14. I saw that shit. Counted.
He didn't have an off season. Now he's going to miss the start of the regular season, no preseason. So when LeBron does come back, you got to put in a couple losses there too, because it's just going to be LeBron just getting back into shape. And that's also going to be an issue too. Luka hasn't practiced too, so it's no guarantee that Luka's going to come off the gates humming with DeAndre Ayton and company. So I think the Lakers, their favorable schedule, they'll be okay. But my concern is they're going to treat the first 2 months of the season like it's preseason. And they're just going to be figuring a bunch of stuff out. And they're going to waste the first 2 or 3 months digging out of this. They've done this every single year now, where they spend the first 3 months digging themselves in this 7 to 9 seed hole where they're 2 games below 500 competing in the West, and they got to sweat the entire final half of the regular season trying to get in a favorable playoff position.
And you think that this team that you just described is a tier above the Clippers?
I never said they were a tier above Clippers. I disagree with the Clippers.
I think they're the same tier with the Clippers.
I think they're the same tier as the Clippers.
Yeah.
Who do you think's better, the Clippers or the Lakers?
I said I don't really care who you think's better. I just disagreed with – I'm personally siding with the Lakers, but I don't care who you think's better because I could see the argument for the Clippers given their depth.
Do you think the Lakers are better than the Clippers?
Their defense better than the Lakers.
No, we did the division ranking. I have the Clippers as the best team in the division.
I don't care if the Clippers are better. There's a clear argument for the
Clippers are better. I don't think there's no argument for
the Lakers.
There's no argument for the Lakers.
I mean, if the Clippers are better on paper and in reality, one team employs the oldest man in the league who's not even healthy enough to start the season.
That's fine. The Clippers are probably going to have a better regular season record than the Lakers too. And if they are, and they are from top to bottom a better roster, and there's a clear argument that they're just the better team. But I just disagree with them being a tier above the Lakers. That's it.
All right. Mighty Fine sent through a super chat and said LeBron is a billionaire now. There's no more motivation at this point. LeBron is just playing to make LeBron's name bigger in LA. The man is building a $150 million mega mansion in Bel Air.
I love how everyone swear they know what LeBron's intentions are. I love this. People swear they know everything. Shout out to Bro, man.
He's the first while-playing billionaire, and I remember if I tracked this correctly, Mars.
What, in basketball?
Yeah, that's played. I'm talking about playing based on, and then I think next up is then Tatum will. I got to remember how it's going to track. Tatum will be close. Jokic. So once once he signs his next deal, he'll then have signed for $1 billion in NBA money after his next deal.
Assuming he gets another season.
Right. Yeah. Giannis, once he gets through this and then signs, will be close. I think it's like 950 or something like that. And then you get like Tatum, he's 20. What's Tatum? 27, something like that.
Yeah,
he's making 300.
Around there, yeah.
His next one is going to be about 420.
Assuming he's still at that
430. Yeah. I mean, he'll have made a bill. We're going to get
NBA money different.
Yeah, we're getting close.
On that, so.
Yeah, these players are getting paid like that. We have players getting paid upward of $1 billion into their career. The competition is now not just national, but also throughout the world. Everybody in the world now is participating in basketball. Yet we still have people that come up here and just deny the reality that this is the best form of basketball that they've ever watched in their entire life, because it's more competitive than ever, because they're getting paid more than ever, because it's more competition, because you're playing against more players of the world than ever before. But hey,
and you have more
thousands
people
committees
in the
were
West.
the thing. So
That's not necessarily the correlation. Now, not saying that whether you're right or you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? More money doesn't mean a better product. It just means more sponsorship. It means more exciting for casual fans. It means that more, you know what I'm saying? That's what it means.
It means inflation.
Yeah,
It doesn't.
That's what it means. Inflation.
More money. More money in a
doesn't-
career is factually proven that when a job starts paying more, you start getting better candidates for the position. That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
there are you get better candidates and you get more candidates because now you have to compete against the world. It's not just a national sport anymore.
Like
There
you're
were no
right.
Nikola Jokic's in 1983, or at least they weren't in the NBA.
Don't let Penn hear you say that.
Arvidas Sabonis.
I'm saying they weren't
But-
in the NBA. That's what I'm saying. Like it's more competitive than
Hold
ever.
on,
More money involved than ever.
You're right, real talk, but the effect is
more-
very small when you get that much money.
More
The effect
candidates
of
doesn't
extra money is
necessarily
very
mean
small when you
better
get-
candidates. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
More people applying for a job doesn't mean better people applying for a job.
Yes, that's what it means.
I don't know if
No,
more
no.
people are gunning to play in the NBA because the money.
Statistically, that's probably what it means. It doesn't.
I don't know.
guarantee
I
it.
really don't. I'd say in
Statistically.
other jobs that would be the case, but I don't know if more people are gunning to have an NBA goal because the money is increasing.
I think you're right, because when you get that much money, the extra million doesn't make a very big difference. The
Yeah.
extra,
But even minimum contracts are worth more.
that is
Well,
right. That
hold
is
on,
right.
hold
Not
on.
everyone
I-
on Project
yeah,
LeBron.
It's happening.
Hey man, if I can get a Project Killian
happening
Hayes,
because it's getting
shit,
more
that's still gonna be
expensive.
20 million.
I think
What
the
I'm
also-
saying,
the
bro,
other
is that
thing-
you can't just because
we can
there's
have that
more money
conversation for another
available doesn't mean if I'm like, okay, they're making more money in the NBA, that doesn't make me I'm a better basketball player now. That just means I want to go there. You don't just increase your skill because they're offering more money.
But I think what we're saying is that you get
That's
better players into the NBA.
No. But
I don't
I
think
disagree.
it's, I,
No. Hold on,
disagree.
Manny. Real quick, bro. Real quick, Manny. That's just not how that works. You can't all just because the NBA is making more money, all of a sudden that doesn't mean some kid wakes up in Pakistan and they're like, well, I'm better now because
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Because there's more money over there. That's not how that happens. You have to get better. You can't just be better because there's money being offered in the contract. That's not even
That was
You're right,
one of
because
well, that was one of the points I said. Was
I know,
also
bro,
back.
I'm talking
I got
to bro. What you
yeah, real
said.
talk, stop being so defensive.
No, but still, real talk. What you said is like I
Mm.
once again, real talk. I'm not even saying that you're wrong. All I'm saying is that you know what I'm saying more money doesn't necessarily mean better. I think money can come from honestly I've said before that I think the reason that they're changing the game up is to make it more exciting for people that are more of a casual basketball fan that don't really care much about what's really happening on the court. They just want to be excited. They want to see people shoot a bunch of threes. And to some people, that's better. And I can't say that they're wrong for that. You know what I'm saying? If shooting more threes is better, like that's fine. If whatever is exciting for you, I think that's more what it's about. I think they're changing it to want it to be more exciting. I think that's why they're taking that with the heave rule that they're doing in the new foul rule. This can't slap your hands. I think they're trying to make it easier to shoot more threes. You know what I'm saying? And once again, that's fine. If that's the type of basketball that we like, if we think that's better, I have no problem with that, right? But all I'm saying is that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I just want to make one thing. When I say it's better basketball, I'm saying it's factually the most efficient the game has been played. That's what I'm saying. It's like we're maximizing every possession better than ever before because of the advent of the 3-point line and having to defend it, which then opens up the lane. Yada yada yada. Like we've been over that before. But that's what I'm saying as far as better. The game is being played more efficiently and more productively than ever before. Now, you could disagree with this play style. That's fine. That's fine. That's a fair opinion. but I'm saying it is factually being played at the most efficient rate that we've played it at, and it continues to go like that as time progresses. Now, will we always agree with it?
With the efficiency
maybe not.
thing, with the efficiency thing, efficiency always isn't better. Also, when people start just check me out. When people start putting stuff on assembly lines to make it more efficient, that just means more stuff is getting made. That doesn't mean it's getting made at a better quality. You know what I'm saying? That just means you're making more of it. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't hold on, bro. Hold on. That doesn't mean that it's more. It's being made. The quality of it is being made. That just means the quantity of it is more. You know what I'm saying? So efficiency in every aspect of life isn't always necessarily better. Now, of course, I'm with you. I don't want people shooting 15% from 3 and 10% from the 4. Like that's terrible. So like you said, real talk. I'm not even trying to say that the game isn't better and there isn't. What'd you say? Nothing. Like there isn't more skill. Once again, like I said, I think there's people doing things that we haven't seen before, but also I think some of that takes away from other qualities of the game. You know what I mean? So and another point I want to say too is this. I think when you see, obviously, okay, so to make this amount of money, things had to get better. Okay, cool, right? But once you also see some players, kids, younger, making a shit ton of money so early, I think a lot of them kind of stray from working to get there. You know what I'm saying? There's a little bit of carelessness with some of these youngsters. And there's a lot of youngsters that are still working very hard and playing very good basketball. And shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? The NBA is in a great place. Basketball is in a great place, and I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Also, we'll talk. Also, just the U.S. population is just growing, so you get more people to be.
Yeah. That was the other point I was like, as more people do want to compete for the jobs, especially now that the game is global.
Real talk, you would think
that
also
more people.
Real talk, you would think if you had
300 million.
You think if you had more people that want to apply for work, you would make it easier for people to apply to that job instead of making it harder. But man, shout out.
Yeah, it's getting a lot harder to play basketball now. So I don't know if the candidates are really getting better. There's a lot of lower income people getting priced out of basketball.
They're gentrifying.
I do agree with Ox as far as the gentrification.
How much it costs, Ox, to have a kid like an AAU program and stuff now, like just running like
even when I was playing, there was back when I was playing, there were still programs that was charging, you know what I'm saying, $1,200 to get on the team. And that's just to be on the team. That's not including the travel that you got to pay for, you know what I'm saying, for the parents to come in. So, and that was a long time ago, you know what I mean? So it's a lot more, you know what I'm saying, now. But once again, like I said, and I've said that before too. And that was my point a second ago. Just because it's more money don't necessarily mean it's better, because there's access. And I think a lot of us can agree that you know what I'm saying, we if you want some good basketball, you need some more inner city kids on that team. You know what I mean? And y'all can take that for how y'all want to take it. Y'all can agree or disagree.
I fully agree.
My thought process is that when you get a little more inner city kids on the team, your team gets a little better. You know what I mean? So whatever.
All right, fellas.
Now, my experience on that too, though, is that number one, I like, as far as the gentrification of the sport, like what you be saying, Onyx, even from me growing up and when I was playing, there are kids now that have like individual personal trainers at 6, 7, 8 years old. Like, so it used to be, maybe I don't really play this sport. Maybe I go join like some local team at 10, 11. I start playing. Then I might play in middle school or something like that. I get identified as some talent. Then I might find, somebody that wants to help and train me on the side or something like that. But like nowadays, it's not a coincidence that a lot of the up and coming best players now
former kids
are just former NBA players' kids, because they've been training now their entire life professionally with professional trainers. That's that kind of stuff.
That's how it is, real talking. And I said it before. I wouldn't have been able to play like when I was young, when I was really starting middle school. If it wasn't for my sister, you know what I'm saying, they seen my sister and was like, well, she's dope. Lil bro got to be dope. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna grab him, and eventually I became dope and I was able to play. But if you don't got somebody vouching for you, or if you don't got no money, well, you just got to get good.
Bro, it's a pay to play system, bro. It's crazy, dog.
Speaking of somebody that kind of happened for, who ended up just turning into a phenomenon, but it wasn't always all of that good. Let's talk about Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks. Obviously, this is what, year 13 for Giannis?
Yes.
Something like
He's
that.
in year 13.
2013 draft.
Yeah,
Yes.
because he got
Yeah, he's been around for a little minute.
Year 13 for Giannis, and he is still
Up
in his
there.
prime.
Yes.
Yes.
Some may say at his
That-
peak. I don't know. All I know is we are bound for a great year from Giannis. But
wherever he may
the
be.
team so much, not really. So y'all, talk to me about expectations, thoughts, and predictions for the Milwaukee Bucks. Manny, I'm gonna kick it to you first. What's up?
Yeah, I don't really think Giannis gonna leave, man. I know it's been these conversations over the past few years, but I mean, Bucks have honestly done a lot to keep Giannis, and they've done things to try and build around Giannis. So if I'm Giannis, it's obviously not like they didn't pay you. They gave you a bunch of money. They've tried to bring other players there to help your situation. I mean, they bring in players there this year. Maybe they're trying to help. Maybe they're trying to replace them. Who knows? But in the past, since he's been with the Bucks, they've done nothing but try and help Giannis succeed. Obviously, he got the one championship, which was dope, but I don't see Giannis leaving because it's not like the Bucks haven't done anything to try and make his situation better. So it'd be different if it was like they're not bringing help and, you know, they're trading away key assets, but they're doing everything they can to keep Giannis happy and keep him happy in Milwaukee.
Yeah, I think that's very, very kind of you. I do think they've done a lot to build around Giannis. They rebuilt the team 3 times now since 2021 to appease Giannis, but not like in a bad way. Just like he's our best player. We're gonna listen to him. Drew Holiday, I promise y'all. Just like I said, Emeka Ibuka was going to Denver. Real talk. I know that he was drafting it. They were getting him at 20, and then he got sniped by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They were absolutely trading for Drew Holiday. They were going to give up all their first round picks and Gary Harris for Drew Holiday. Then they came in with 3 and 2 swaps to the Pelicans for Drew Holiday to the Bucks. Then they traded Dame Lillard on Giannis's request to improve the team, and then also with the contract threat that he wouldn't resign. And then now, because it would appease Giannis, they then got rid of Dame's contract, have the largest cap hit over a 5-year spread ever, brought in Miles Turner, and essentially they're paying Miles Turner $50 million over the course of his contract. So they have absolutely tried. They just haven't done a good job, in my estimation, on some of the the other stuff on the roster. I think he's gone. Like, it's over. I think even if Giannis plays well this year, which he will, even if they're like the 5th seed, y'all, so what? Because as soon as what's going to happen, they're going to play versus Cleveland or the Knicks or one of them, and then they're going to get decimated again. And then it's just going to be the same repeating story. I just think it's time for everybody to move on. Like, they got to completely rebuild their team. Giannis needs to go somewhere, do what he got to do, take care of his business, join a super team or whatever, and go try to win a championship, which I'm fine with. Like, it's a player, like, you do what you got to do. But this idea that, like, Giannis should just be sitting, just chilling, I'm just like, if he maybe he wants, maybe he loves Milwaukee. Obviously, his family and everybody's been there forever, but they don't have a chance for me. I don't think they beat the Hawks. I don't think they beat the Magic. I don't think they beat Cleveland. I don't think they beat the Knicks. I don't even know if they for sure make the playoffs. And they might, but it's only because the Eastern Conference is as bad as it is. And I think for me, that's a bigger story and indictment on just where the Bucks are. And I just think Giannis is the Bugatti, in the broken garage right now.
Okay.
It's just
So I'm curious. I'm curious too. If he does get traded, does that make him ineligible for a supermax contract or like his bigger max? Okay. Now we know Giannis cares about the money too. So I think that's another valid reason of why he probably won't look to go anywhere or why he won't seriously actually go anywhere else. It is an option, but I think he's definitely going to consider the money portion too.
No, we're going to sign that extension and then we're going to ask for a trade. Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, but
we're gonna whatever time we have to stay around. I don't know if I don't know when he can qualify for that to get that last super duper max deal or whatever.
Let me look it up.
We're gonna sign that and then we're going. Yeah.
Can we assume that
Giannis, Luka, Lakers, Rockets?
Oh shit. Can we assume that Giannis might not think like a greedy American?
So in the 2026 offseason, he's eligible for $293 next year. So next year.
We'll play this season. We'll sign the extension, and then all of a sudden we're going to be very disgruntled.
But you won't be able to be traded after that, though. for
that's
another 6 months.
For 6 months, so we'll wait for 6 months.
So you're just gonna be chilling for a year and a half?
He been chilling.
They extend him
for the
till
past
right before the
5
trade
years.
deadline, and then at the trade deadline, he gets traded.
But he gonna be 32 years old by that point.
Still worth it.
We're
Still
getting,
worth
bro.
trade
You
for
get that
Giannis.
money. What?
But who
You-
can even
you
trade for
gotta sign
Giannis?
that
Can
deal.
someone like lay out a blueprint here? All this like Giannis wants out.
Knicks,
Who has Giannis
Multiple,
money right now?
team trade. Multiple team trade.
Who has Giannis money? And I'm not talking about this year. It's gonna have to be like in a year or two. Who has Giannis money? Like
Raptors.
as far as like assets.
Knicks has salary.
Raptors.
If they trade Fox, I think.
The New York Knicks can trade him. The Raptors can do it. Technically, the Warriors could if they wanted to scrummage up that money with Jimmy Butler and them. The Lakers couldn't plausibly, but Adam Silver.
What about Houston?
Houston could.
They'll be better than the Bucks if they continue to try and make his situation better. If they continue to bring pieces there, if they try and bring pieces there, maybe I don't know, let's just for the sake of the example, let's say they stay the exact same how they are. They already tried to bring some pieces to help Giannis. It's not really that many other teams he could go to that can afford this super duper max contract after he signs it. And they are.
I'm sorry. I'm not even trying to be. I mean, there's a lot of teams that can trade salaries for.
Okay, valid. They can
trade a lot.
They won't have the assets around him that puts him in a better situation than what he is with the Bucks. If I'm at a job and they already treat me right, they giving me special treatment everywhere. Why would I go somewhere else that's equivalent to the situation, and I don't know what the front office is going to do there? I might as well stay where I collect the bag.
The Knicks could, the Warriors.
It's not trade. It's not trading for Giannis today. It's like you said, after he signs the extension, that's going to be in like a year and a half.
I don't think he'll wait to the extension. I think it'll be this year.
Wow.
Okay. Then those teams are on the table. Like the Cat decision, people have been saying Cat's been on the table for Giannis for like all summer.
I'm not even making that trade if I'm the Bucks. I'm not getting rid of Giannis for Cat.
I think the trade would be they trade Knicks and either one of the Cat or Jalen or a wing.
Also, Milwaukee has to trade Giannis. It's not like Giannis can trade himself.
The Bucks picks back.
This has to be a deal that Milwaukee really wants to
jump in because I don't want this to turn into a Giannis trade segment as much as I want you guys to talk to me about what do you guys think that the Bucks are going to do this year? Do you think because of the Giannis trade situation,
Giannis and Melo suck very bad?
Well, the Giannis trade's going to loom the entire season, but as far as like what on the court's going to look like, I just think given that it's a weak East, there's no way that Giannis in his prime is going to miss the playoffs. Maybe they lose in the play-in, but they'll at least finish in the top 8. Giannis is in his prime. They're going to finish in the top 8, especially that it's a weak East. Will they do anything in said play-in playoff? Absolutely not. I mean, we saw the experiment against Indiana when it was Giannis and friends, and they got smoked out. And Giannis is averaging like 30-point triple-doubles. But I think Giannis in his prime, they're still going to finish as a top 8 seed.
Yo, Mars, thoughts on the Bucks?
Yo, Ron. I think they have the capability to be a really good team in the regular season. I don't think they have the roster to compete in the playoffs. Not for like a championship or anything. But I think the formula of Giannis in 5 out can get you a bunch of regular season wins. I think Miles Turner, for all the flaws he has, is more mobile than Brook Lopez. So you have a legitimate shot blocker who can, in theory, man the middle and then allow Giannis to still be the roamer that he is. And then you surround that. So Miles Turner shooting with Taurean Prince, with an AJ Green, who I know Bucks fans are raving about right now, especially based on the last game he just played. Gary Trent, hell of a shooter. Ryan Rollins is someone I'm intrigued about as a shooter. So they have like the elite floor spacing to surround the best downhill player in the NBA with. That sounds like a formula for a good regular season offense. Now, once you get to the playoffs and you require some diversity and you have to be able to beat teams in multiple ways, yeah, they're going to be good. They're not going to be a Cavs team, in my opinion. We'll talk about them in a bit. They'll struggle to be an Orlando team or whoever. But in the regular season, I could see them getting up close to 50 wins. I could see them being, best case scenario, a top 3 seed. I don't see them being better than the Knicks or the Cavs, but I see them, they could get to 3rd. And part of that is why Giannis is my MVP favorite. But this all depends on Doc Rivers obviously going with the lineup that I think emphasizes the shooting and the floor spacing. If he starts Kyle Kuzma and like whatever else on the roster, then I'm like, okay, well, shaky. But if they go all in on the Giannis-centric offense where he's going to be their primary decision maker, primary playmaker, pretty much have the ball in his hands about as much as a big can. Yeah, I can see them approaching 50 wins and having a surprise season for what people expect from them in a regular season.
Hey, real talk. I know you are one of the few people, well, one of the great people that thinks Giannis is, at that level. How do you feel about Giannis and the Bucks this year?
I mean, basically, just gonna piggyback off of what Marge said. I mean, I do think that they're better than some people believe in regular season setting because of Giannis and the spacing, and I do think they have a few quality defenders on the team. I'm also higher on Miles Turner than most. Like, people talk about Miles Turner like he's like absolute dog poo, but I've witnessed Jackson Hayes on my team. Like, yeah, Miles Turner is a quality
He's an
center
82
for
game
most
player.
teams. Like,
He's a
yeah, I don't understand.
He's
And
better
he
than
was pretty
Jackson
good.
Hayes. For sure. Yeah,
He's been pretty good on in like last year in the playoff run. Outside, of course, he was bad in the finals, but he had some good series. He absolutely dog walked Jared Allen against Cleveland. Nobody talk about that, but I like
Making
Miles
40-foot
Turner
threes at halftime
Yeah,
too, like
at
in
40-some%.
Step back threes, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I like Miles Turner. I like that addition. I'm also kind of like KPJ on the basketball court. Let me clarify that.
And I don't mean to say this in a way that's accidental. If Giannis can find a way to shoot 34% from three this year,
yeah, no, we don't need to do
changes
that
everything.
at whatsoever.
Have you seen he's working on his form?
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it does. He's working on his form. He's working on his form.
Only
That
time see what
absolutely nothing.
efficiency does. Real talk. When we
Yeah,
get
he
to
just
talk about efficiency,
derailed real talk.
You see what that does. Real talk?
It's true.
You see what you're doing. To
You got to see the vision, Ox.
You see what you're doing to the game. I love. Real talk.
I'm not doing that. Now, I never said Giannis needs to shoot 34% on threes. That's not where I'm at.
But
With it.
Giannis needs to shoot 0 threes next
Yeah,
season.
0 threes.
I want Giannis to not shoot a three the whole year.
Y'all not seeing the 5-out vision.
We don't.
I also think they can win around in the playoffs too. By the way, I don't
Versus
think
who?
they're just
As
an
the AC?
automatic first round exit.
They have no shot.
That's the AC.
They can
No, I mean,
definitely win
I think
around.
I think it could be matchup dependent. If they get
Yeah,
a
it's
3 seed and
matchup
Atlanta's
dependent,
6,
but they
I
can
think
get
they
it.
could beat the Hawks.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm a
Yeah, if they
prediction.
match up against
If they're hurt, if the Hawks are hurt, I agree.
No,
4 or 5, yeah, they can get them out of here.
Bucks being 3 seed is very generous too.
very
Just saying.
good.
Well, yeah, that's what I said. If they were able to do that, but like I think they could win around depending on matchups.
That Kristaps hammer would be
Likely
crazy.
they probably lose. Likely they probably lose in round 1, but I could see the avenue where they get to the second round and then get blitzed in round 2. But that's probably the best case scenario for me. So worst case scenario, they're in the play-in, and anyone in the play-in can lose in the play-in. So if you're in the play-in, worst case scenario, you lose in the play-in. Best case scenario, you get to the second round. I think that's probably the seed.
Do y'all think they're a top 10 defense this year?
No. Oh, top 10 defense. Last year they were near top 10.
For stretches, sure, why not?
The lineup that I think maximizes Giannis offensively, I don't think is going to be enough to get them a top 10 defense. So I'd probably say no, but I think they can be in the top 15-ish.
What lineup is that for you to maximize?
Ryan Rollins, AJ Green, Torian Prince, Giannis, and Miles Turner.
Well, yeah, I mean, in that setting, probably not. But I like if KPJ's out there.
Too much.
Well, KPJ is going to still play a lot of minutes. He's going to play like
KPJ is a quality defender. In my opinion,
KPJ can defend. Ryan Rollins also.
Ryan Rollins is I like
Ryan
that
Rollins
one too. Actually, I want to see them.
Yeah, I think they got
play.
decent point guard defenders. So that's cool. Torian Prince doesn't kill you on defense. He's not a good defender. He doesn't kill you.
AJ's not too bad.
AJ is good for his archetype. AJ is a good defender.
Yeah, he's good.
He's better than you would expect AJ Green's archetype to be on defense. Miles Turner, I think, is a capable regular season defender. The playoffs have my issues, but we're talking strictly regular season. I think he still provides value. Jericho Sims, I think, is capable on defense, especially with his verticality, explosiveness, mobility. Giannis, I still think, is a good defender. He's not a defensive player of the year guy, but a good defender. So yeah, I think that they have the makings of a slightly above average defense, I would say, with personnel that's intriguing. But they also have the Bobby Portises, the Kyle Kuzmas. They have Gary Trent, who I don't think is a great defender. And I also don't know what the lineup is going to be. Drinkman Water said it's going to be KPJ, Gary Trent, AJ Green, Giannis, and Miles Turner. Ugh. in my opinion. But
defense.
like you can stagger minutes, whatever the case may be. Like I think they're better than people think, regular season wise. Playoffs, I think everyone's on the same page, including Bucks fans. But regular season wise, I think they can be better than people think.
I'm also losing out hope on the Giannis MVP thing because if OKC just like wins 70 games, then he's gonna win it again. So.
And then you're gonna have to admit the truth, which is
no, I'm not gonna have to admit anything because his team is all time great.
Okay. Just play on all time great level.
Do you think anybody in the East should be able to win an MVP this year? If like given the
no. I think if you play the best, you should.
Well, I guess what I'm saying, like if the Western Conference, if like you're having to go through like a true gauntlet every day. But that's later conversation. That can be
you could still be better in playing against inferior.
We need to have more nuance to it. You're absolutely right, Ox. We'll save it for another day because I feel like it's a good conversation.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, the next team we are going to talk about is the Detroit Pistons, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into it. This was one of the most impressive teams last year in terms of where they were the season before and where they ended last season. I think we all have solid expectations for this team. Cade Cunningham is a budding superstar. They got some key additions. How do we feel about the Pistons? Man, once again, I'm going to kick things off.
Man, Pistons can compete with anybody in the league, especially in the East, for sure. And I think Pistons will finish a top 3 team in the East. Like I know we talk about a lot of other teams, but matchup wise and the way this team is built from a personnel standpoint, they've gotten better than what they were last year when K was really their only scoring option. So now that they have more help on the perimeter, I mean, I feel like that helps a lot in matchup wise. They can contend with the Cavs, the Knicks. We've seen clearly how the matchup was last year, but again, they got a little bit better, adding some perimeter guys like Duncan Robinson and then Karis LeVert, who's quick and getting to the cup too. So I think Pistons can compete with anybody in the East. I'm not going to go out here and say, oh, they're about to run through the East and get to the finals. I will hope that's the case, but truthfully, I'm content with whoever they do match up with in the Eastern Conference. I wouldn't want to see the Cavs in the first round, but when push comes to shove, if we do run into them, then I think they'll be all right.
Well, you lost your borderline second best player last year, the guy who could have won 6th Man of the Year.
But he's back this year. Ivy?
Malik Beasley.
Malik Beasley.
But we might get him back. I think we might get Malik Beasley back. But
you have the room for Malik Beasley. It seems like you guys signed like 3 Malik Beasleys this offseason.
We did. But, I mean, he also had the gambling case. So, when we could have signed him, we might get him for a discount. And that's assuming we don't get him. No, I won't even put him in the equation. We still get Ivy back. And Ivy he almost averaged 20 before the injury. So, I think he'll come in and be a good element to this team, too.
Well, I guess that's what the season banks on is Jaden Ivey taking that all-star level leap. Because if not, how much better did they really get from last year?
I think they have to be.
I think Karis LeVert
last year and we was good in the playoffs without him.
I think Karis LeVert is a major upgrade, and Duncan Robinson I think is better than Malik Beasley. So
I agree.
I don't think Duncan Robinson.
And if you don't say that they're better individually as players, them together collectively is better than Malik Beasley.
I think Karis is absolutely better than Malik Beasley.
Yeah. That's not.
If you think Duncan's not better than Malik, that's cool. I would argue he is, but like that's fine. Karis, there should be no question. He's better than Malik Beasley.
I'll put it.
Not to mention just the role he fills of another ball handler, because that was the issue last year. When Ivy went down, they had no other ball handlers who you could rely on. Like no disrespect to Dennis Schroeder, but like they had no ball handlers you could consistently rely on to create for themselves and others. And Karis LeVert can absolutely do that. He did that in Atlanta last year at a really high level. He's just really good. Not to mention, Asar Thompson is one of the best defenders in the league. You're gonna have him all season long. I'm expecting Ron Holland to look a lot better in year 2. That's just me personally. I think Isaiah Stewart being healthy and available. I think the Knicks series is quite different if Beef Stewart is there. I think he's one of the best defensive bigs in the league. Like this is a really good Pistons team. I still have questions about their offense just in general. I'm not the highest on Jaden Ivey like some other people are, but I see the upside. I see the ability to get downhill, all of that. I still think he needs to work on some things. But this is a good team, like a legitimately good team. I would expect a top 10 defense, around a top 10 defense. Cade, I expect to be a perennial All-NBA caliber guy at this point. I know Real Talk said he's better than a certain 5-lettered named individual. I'm gonna give him the floor to explain who that 5-lettered individual is. But
5 letters.
I'm intrigued by the Pistons.
Yeah, well, I said that this year he'll be. Yeah.
Help you what?
That 5-letter name
What?
was Steph, obviously.
I
I think
all of a
Cade
sudden,
is about to
previous
finish.
years don't
I think,
matter. Okay, interesting.
yeah. Cade's about to have a top 5 MVP season. I think he's going to finish top 5 in MVP voting. I think Cade is about to be that good.
Where's Ant going?
You said what?
Where's Ant going?
What about Ant?
Where's
Cade?
You're saying that's with like a mixture of narrative plus seeding, or you're saying he's
Yeah.
That's crazy to say.
He's gonna-
I don't think
yeah,
that's
yeah,
crazy to
Oh,
say.
okay, I thought you were saying he was going to be a top 5 performer in the regular. Like he's going to play top 5. Like he's going to be one of the 5 best players in the regular season.
To finish fifth, you just need a few people
I
to give
don't
you a
think
couple
that's
votes.
crazy if he make that argument.
No, I'm not saying it's crazy. I just want to know if that's what he's saying. Or if he's just saying that. Like,
I don't think it's
level
going to be.
plus the
Look,
narrative.
this is what I'm going to say. It wouldn't shock me if Cade plays Ant to a draw this upcoming season. It wouldn't shock me not one bit, actually, if that happens. Cade Cunningham is an amazing basketball player, and I'm mad. I'm a bit late to the party, but my God, bro, he is good, bro. He's 6'6". He looked like he even got a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Cotton
Yeah.
Diesel out there,
He
bro. He
did.
can move people out the way. He's a great passer, great playmaker. The pull-up 3 ball has getting better every year. The midi is already damn near elite. All he has to do is clean up the finishing at the basket. He's already a plus defender as well.
Gotta limit the
It's
turnovers.
not like we're asking him to make like these major. If Cade finishes better at the basket, let's say he's around 65%. I know this is a jump.
That's a
65, 60.
What was he 52% last year?
You said what?
I'll check. Last year, Cade Cunningham
He was
at the rim
last
with
year.
52.6%.
Look at that.
Sub
Ball
50%
north.
on layups.
I
Sub
knew it.
50% on layups.
Yeah,
It's a
so
big
I'm saying
jump.
he
you're
has to
asking
clean
for,
that
Rachel.
up.
That's
Obviously,
a big jump.
He
big jump.
obviously has to clean that up. But Ron, I know you here with me, bro. Because you kept bringing it up last year. 26, 6 to 9 or whatever he was averaging last year.
Yeah.
He's at 80% in
Bruh.
preseason. Do with that information what you will.
He's at what?
80% in preseason. So
Oh, at the rim? Yeah. Cade's an amazing basketball player, and I think this Detroit team, as many already up here have outlined, I do think they have a really good team. They could compete for a top 3-4 spot in the East this upcoming season, especially in the regular season. And it wouldn't shock me. If they found themselves in a conference finals appearance. I'm not betting on it. But it
to
wouldn't
be
shock
fair,
me.
I think they were right there with the Knicks. If they don't
With
call
the
that,
Knicks,
if they call that egregious foul, like
Yep.
It would shock me.
they would, if Beef Stew's healthy, like they could have beat the Knicks, and the Knicks were in the conference final. That was a close series, and then also Brunson.
They got a lot out of their role players in that series, though, against the Knicks. It would
They
shock
also
me.
have a lot of players you expect them to develop and be better young guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
I
are
think the
leaning
Pistons
on
are really good.
Yes,
I think
it's
they
tough,
are.
yeah.
I thought leaving into that season in New York was that 6 games. They played very competitive at the Garden. A lot to be proud of going into this season. I think Cade Cunningham is a really good player. I mean, there's an avenue for him to be a top 10 player at the end of the season. I think he needs to clean up the turnovers. Okay. I think he needs to finish better at the rim. My only thing with Detroit is to get to that next step. Obviously, Jaden Ivey, can the team work around Jaden Ivey in the lineup, but also still feels like they're kind of missing something, especially offensively. Just feels like something's missing. I don't know if anyone else agrees. You're a Pistons fan, but when I think of the Pistons, I think of very competitive team with a superstar in the making, but something next to him just kind of feels missing.
The issue was being able to score the ball without Cade Cunningham. That was the big issue. And I think that's why we've seen his turnover ratio so high as well, because he has to have the ball in for that offense to work. Like if he's not the one controlling the offense, if he's not trying to score, being aggressive, then the Pistons had no offense, which is why a lot of people like Tobias Harris, that he was there to help out a little bit, but also Tobias is not the guy to run the offense through or put the ball on the ground. So Ivy, if he can play that role to perfection, if he can come back and take that leap or just kind of come back to where he was, because again, he was pretty good before he went down. But that would be huge for them to just have another guy being able to handle the ball outside of Cade. And I think Karis LeVert will also take a lot of pressure off of Cade Cunningham too. Mentioning Duncan Robinson being able to shoot threes will be able to help just make that offense a little well-rounded, a little bit more well-rounded than what it was. because when so much pressure isn't on Cade, I think that's when we see just the Pistons offense look a lot better as a full team.
Yeah, I think it all comes down to, in a big spot, do they have that guy when Cade's getting double teamed or if he's struggling, he can just comfortably give the ball to and just like go get a bucket or go run this offense for me while I'm having an off night. I don't know exactly if Detroit has that. Maybe they could develop something. I'm not saying it's off the table. I'm not saying it's off the table they can't develop something. I'm just saying coming into the season right now, I don't think they really have that. And I think that's the only thing really missing from this team. But I think this is a very competitive team, definitely a top 3 to 5 team in the East. I'm gonna watch them for sure.
I think that's valid. I think it's valid to question who that next person will be to kind of take that pressure off Cade. Because last year was Dennis Schroeder. And obviously he's been around in the league for a minute, but Dennis Schroeder has played a lot of basketball. He played with some great players, and he got a good understanding of the game. So me as a Pistons fan, I was comfortable seeing him control the game if Cade was resting for a little bit. So it is, in a way, big shoes for somebody else to fill when you talk about being able to run that offense. But I think it's possible with some of the guys they picked up. And defensively, too, a sleeper on defense is Javonte Green. I think he'll help out with the defense just because when he was in Chicago, he was a kind of a pace guy. Like, he helped set the tone with defense, creating easy offense. So hopefully he can do that same thing with the Pistons. But ultimately, he adds another layer to that Pistons defense for sure.
Jaden Ivey is going to be their second ball handler, and I'm more than fine with that. Last year, I actually had coming into the season, I had Ivey as my MIP pick, but unfortunately he got hurt. And I wish he would have got that like another year of experience just playing NBA basketball under his belt. Then I would be even more, strong-willed about the Pistons because he would have played the minutes and gotten better and gotten the reps, but still, like, Jaden Ivey is such an explosive athlete with a very good first step. He can definitely generate a lot of rim pressure, which can collapse defenses. And the better he gets as a pull-up shooter, then, I mean, that's all they really need Jaden Ivey to do.
You guys are a lot higher on Jaden Ivey than I am.
I'm not that high on him, but if he can turn into a 20-point per game, good efficiency guy where Cade can just give him the ball in a moment and he can just go get his, then that would be a uber plus for Detroit. I don't know if that's 100% going to happen because I've never been the biggest Jaden Ivey fan, although he has some good traits, but it's going to be something to see.
My thing is he averaged 17 last year. He got hurt, but he shot 46% from the field. So I think last year, as he was getting a lot of clout and he was playing, he did a lot of great things last year with penetrating the rim and just getting other people open. And I think he comes back and do that. Obviously, everybody don't return the same after getting hurt, but I still think he'll be a very impactful player. And granted, if he's not, we still have Karis LeVert to be that second ball handler and a guy who can control offense. So that's why I'm just confident either way. And I feel like matchup wise, there'll still be a threat, whether Ivy is playing at the 17 points per game he was last year, or if he's better, that would be good. But if he's worse, I think either way we have options to be able to adjust the offense outside of Cade.
If we can be honest, if we can have an honest conversation, friends and family, they should have been up 3-1, but they should have won that series versus the Knicks. And they got absolutely hoed at the end of that game. Tim Hardaway Jr. got bodied on the three-point shot. So they should have been up 3-1. You should have advanced another round. If you ask me, I was irate the next day. I couldn't believe that was a missed call. But shout out to Detroit. I think they're going to be burned. I love Jalen Duren. He's one of my favorite players in the league.
Oh, we didn't even bring him up.
Yeah.
Double guy. We didn't bring him up. Yeah.
Double guy right there.
He needed to be playing left end somewhere. That's what he should be doing. Mario Williams coming off the edge.
He too tall. Jaden Ivey also, just by the way, shot 41% from three last year. 30-game sample size, but
yeah, he can't finish the rim either. But we ain't got time. That's cool.
Before we transition to the Cavs, I do want to salute to everybody that's in here. I do want to shout out all of our Hall of Famers, and specifically my man, Jean Marr, Skeet Nielsen. Appreciate you for pulling up today, my man.
It's good, guys. Appreciate you having me here.
All right, fellas. Y'all can hear that in the back?
Nah.
All right, cool. All right, I got a couple super chats. I want to go ahead and read these. My man Masinko said, J Huff can be my new Brad Miller. GOAT. Elron. Shout out Keon Dooling. Shout out Linus Kleza. Shout out Michael Doliak. And shout out CDR, Chris Douglas Roberts.
Shout out to Linus Kleza, man. Like his legend.
I feel like I talk about Brad Miller more than anybody else in this platform. I don't know why. He was a very good player. He would have been even better in this.
Yeah, because he is what your glorious king would be back in the 2000s.
That's facts. That's facts. That's facts. That's facts. He would be that to Weber. He would be that for Chris Webber. I agree.
Alan L said we definitely winning that MVP now.
Oh,
Luka FC, we locked in.
That's
Celtics
a nasty
Luka
profile pick, bro. Holy.
That's a good profile picture right there.
Could you imagine if Luka played for the Celtics?
Well, could you imagine if Luka?
Then the Birds comps will go crazy.
Yeah, something else would be going
played
crazy.
for the Lakers?
Barstool Sports launches Celtics broadcast.
We're already better than. Just keep going. It doesn't matter.
All right, the next super chat I got is from Ridge Maddock. It's a members chat. Ridge Maddox said, Pops is 76 today. Shout out to my Pops, yo.
Man, for real. Shout out, man.
Shout out.
Yeah, bless
Happy
to your Pops.
1949.
W math.
That's good, man. Yeah, man. Shout out.
Blessing, yo. Salute.
Hey, man, love your people, man. Love your people, for real. Love your people.
Yeah, happy
All
birthday
man.
to your Pops.
Happy birthday, Pops. Cheers to the best year that you've had so far.
He's run for president, 76.
He's seen every NBA player.
Well, no,
Like he could tell you about George Mikan. Like he could tell
Well,
you.
he might not be like
He was a kid, but he could tell you.
Crazy.
Yeah, but then his dad could have told him about Mikan.
My grandpa used to watch the Cincinnati Royals, so that's how far back you can go.
That's tough.
Satchel Paige.
Whoop City Scoop City said the Bulls have probably the worst owner in the league.
They're up there.
And
Yeah.
the White Sox too.
Yeah, that's up. They're up there.
They're killing Chicago
Yeah,
sports.
they own both teams.
And he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Imagine owning teams in Chicago and sucking. That city's too
White
amazing to
Sox
have
are
a bad
like
team.
one of the worst teams the last couple of years,
Yeah,
if not the
it's
worst.
terrible.
That's the talk of the town. Being in
Yeah,
Chicago.
White Sox, Rockies.
Have you heard the story of how he hired Jerry Krause?
No.
So apparently Jerry Krause was an analyst for the White Sox, the baseball team, and you just saw him there and was like, "Oh, I think he would be good as a GM job." Like complete bullshit, like hiring reasons, and it worked. He got one of the best GMs ever.
Well, they had a good run in the '90s, and that's pretty much it.
Really,
That's actually what that Last Dance documentary showed too. I don't know how a lot of people's takeaway was like, "Oh, Michael Jordan was so great after that Last Dance documentary." To me, the takeaway was, "Holy shit, what a GM! Holy shit, look how good that team is! Holy shit, Scottie Pippen is him! Oh my god, they had the best roster in the league. Oh my goodness, and they were early on the Euro player thing, and when got Tony Kukoc."
I thought that was people had the opposite takeaway. I thought a lot of people hated the Bulls management after last year. That's why
I don't
doing
understand
that
that.
after.
Yeah,
because they broke the team up at the end.
That's his fault of why they broke up too. We can't just
because Reinsdorf threw Krause under the bus.
Man, they were just smart about it because someone's legacy would have been cooked if he actually played and they would have lost the next year. So you know what? He just benefited everyone. He just benefited everyone. That 6-0 look a lot better when you never lost.
I said that
they stayed together. They would have lost.
I was a casual for saying it.
But to be fair, Jordan was like that. You know, he deserves all the praise that he gets. But
yeah, he was a cool little player. He was decent. Yeah.
Jordan took 2 breaks.
He in my top 3.
He
in my top 3. He in my top 3 all the time. Shout out to Jordan, man.
Anything could have happened in those 2.
He's in my top 100 players of all time. I agree.
He in my top 100.
Trevi.
Ron, is MJ your GOAT, Ron?
No, Kareem's his GOAT. He has MJ number 2.
He number 2.
I don't know how many. Wait, does anyone up here have MJ as the GOAT?
Me.
Oh yeah, you
go.
Okay, buddy. Interesting. You see, like one of the only platforms where MJ is the GOAT is like the major minority opinion.
I'm in like multiple Facebook groups. If you said anything other than MJ is the GOAT, you'll get hanged.
I believe there's goats.
Facebook, so
I'm just goats in eras train, man. Like it's goats in every era.
Who's to go to this era?
LeBron.
What's this era?
This is the 40s.
Yeah. Wait. How
He's been around for a while, man.
We're not LeBron.
Which era are we in for LeBron? Era 4?
It's Jokic, man.
How are we defining the era? What is?
How long is the era for LeBron to be the GOAT of this era? So he'd go of the last era and era. So Kobe, Bron's been the GOAT from Kobe since.
The LeBron era ended in 20. The LeBron era ended in 20.
Yeah. So Jokic,
It's been Jokic's era ever, Jokic Giannis era, and throwing Luka as like the number 3. And Tatum.
So in the 2000s, what the Shaq, Kobe, Duncan. I think that's the 3 best we would say of the 2000s.
Kobe, Shaq, Duncan, right?
Yeah.
So Shaq, Kobe, Duncan, and then next one was LeBron and Steph.
Right.
And then now it's
LeBron, KD.
Sorry. LeBron. Well, I'm asking. That's what I'm asking. LeBron, Steph, and KD, and then now it's Jokic, Giannis, and Luka SGA.
And you know what's funny? By the time we get to 2030, if we do the 2020 to 2030, and whose era is it? It wouldn't shock me at all if it just becomes a Shea era.
I can see that.
We'll have
the next 5 championships.
Yeah, okay. We'll have our eyes.
That'd be
turned
crazy.
on.
Imagine it being your era and just not the best player. That's it.
Yeah.
Nah, people call the 80s the Magic era.
You guys make it out to be, but okay.
The Magic era. Larry Bird.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. I got a super chat from Trevi. Trevi said that old ass man can sit his old ass down the entire damn season and come back in the playoffs. Luka FC still gonna be top 4 seed. LeBron ain't no Robin. That MF Alfred now.
Oh my God!
Why did you take a shot at
season? The Lakers aren't going to be the 4th seed.
They will be a top 8 seed.
They'll make the playoffs. They'll make the playoffs, but no LeBron.
You guys know they might be a top 4 seed. Luka might be like that. Austin Reeves might be like that. JJ Redick might be like that. DeAndre Ayton might be like that.
The defense is going to be atrocious.
You should have left that last name.
The defense will be better now without LeBron.
Saying the number 1 pick from Luka's draft class might be.
Oh, brother. Okay.
My bad.
Number 2
drafted ahead of Luka for a reason, by the way. But, you know, that's
a bad one, clearly.
I just watching Resurgence.
He's from Arizona, real talk. That's the reason.
Man, Luka gonna have Austin Reeves looking like Kyrie Irving. Shout out to my dog, man. We up. Luka FC. Real talk. We up. We up.
Swiper, you are right. We are up. And that's why we rocking on Splash Sports, because we are using Splash Sports for the come up. Now, if you have picks that you need to make because you are a ball knower and you know what goes on in the sports world, Splash Sports is the perfect place to go because they have a new peer-to-peer DFS game where essentially you choose a player projection. Will Jokic get 11 rebounds tonight? And you go more or less. If you believe that Jokic will get 11 rebounds against the Utah Jazz, then you'll go more. If you think he'll go less that night, then you choose less. You do that with 2 to 6 players, and that is where you win your cold hard splash cash. And once again, you are competing against other fans. You are not competing against the house. So here's what you need to do. Download the app, and you can do that by either clicking this link in the description, or you can scan the QR code. And when the app comes up, you will be able to create lineups like this. Now, you guys are right. We are, in fact, up. Now, I know that the city of Detroit will be celebrating come NBA season, but they will be mourning tonight when they get packed up by the Seattle Mariners. Hence these picks. Now, Mitch Garver, we're going to go less just because, well, even though he is a Seattle Mariner, he's a bum. All right. So we're going to go less. And then we got my man, Josh Nails, the best pickup at the trade deadline. Josh Naylor will get a hit tonight, and he will get a hit on Tariq tonight. JP. Then you got JP Crawford, the captain. A hit, an RBI, or a run. Come on, man. That's easy money for JP. McKinstry, less, just because he's a bum. Derek Scooble, less, because, more, because he's going to get roughed up tonight by the best team in baseball. Right, Manny? He will give up more than 2 runs. As a matter of fact, he's going to give up more than 2 runs in the first 2 innings.
Crazy.
And then last but not least, my man Furious George Kirby will get more than 6 strikeouts because, well, he's just like that. And after this happens, the Mariners will be on their way to the World Series, and the Detroit Lions will maybe make the playoffs this year.
Maybe. This is the second parlay of the day that you just faded the best player in the series. You think Scooball's going to have a rough outing again?
He ain't the best pitcher today. He ain't even the best pitcher today.
He's about pitching today. George Kirby?
Furious George Kirby to you.
Stop it.
And what do you mean he's not the best? Do you know who's the best player in the series?
Scooball is the best player in the series.
Without a doubt.
He is better than
Do
Kyle
you
Rowley,
know
like
who's the
value
best
for value.
player in the series?
He's better than Kyle Rowley, value for value.
Do y'all know who the MVP is?
Oh my god!
It should have been Scoop.
First of all, the MVP is Aaron Judge, but that's for another debate.
Is he?
He's the MVP. Yes.
Aaron Judge got sent home. He didn't show up.
Aaron Judge absolutely showed up. He's been the best player all October.
Barely. I mean,
barely. The dude batted 600 against the Blue Jays.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. So he showed up. But I'll say this: it's more so. It's about time he showed up in the postseason.
Well, his teammates didn't show up. He can't have timely moments if his team's got him down 10.
It sounds very LeBronish to me, Aaron Judge.
I'm just
but,
saying.
all right.
Aaron Judge, best player in the world.
By the way, y'all, whatever Ron tells y'all to bet the opposite and you'll win. Because Ron with the W just was begging for me to take his money over and over again. I didn't understand it. I spared him. Hey, bet me $100 on the Aces and the Merc. Now look, you would have been out $100.
Mercury tonight.
I do think this is the one game that they win. So, but game 5, I'll definitely bet you.
Aaroners, nah.
Yo, Ron, can you put up that drink more water comment? He said, I don't like how MLB has 2 MVPs. Because baseball doesn't have conferences, they have leagues. And that's why they're different from the NBA. Now it's getting the lines are getting a little grayer because they're doing all this interleague stuff. But it's usually, if you're an American League team, you pretty much just play who's in the American League. And if you're in the National League, you play pretty much who's in the National League. They're doing it differently now. There's more interleague than there has been in the past. But this isn't the NBA where it's East versus West, and they kind of just all play each other. And the conferences don't necessarily matter in the regular season. They absolutely matter in baseball. And that's why they have 2 MVPs.
So the MLB has no MVPs, I hear.
No, they have 2. They have 1 per league because it's the American League. The World Series is the winner of the American League versus the winner of the National League.
Yeah, so each league has an MVP.
Yeah. You're not the MVP of Major League Baseball. You're the MVP of your league.
Didn't know that.
Oh, I see why Chio doesn't follow that sport closely.
Yeah, I'll just be hearing you guys just in one ear and out the other.
Mars, all you need to know about is the big dumper. That's it.
He is a dog. But
could you imagine if the NBA didn't do interconference play and just if you're an Eastern team, you just only played Eastern teams, and if you were a West team, you only played West teams? Could you imagine like a Western Conference MVP and an Eastern Conference MVP every year?
Honestly, I think it would be a mix-up that could be beneficial for the NBA.
You know how many MVPs LeBron would have? It would be like Bonds. He would just have like 7.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
He'd have
Derrick Rose would still have his.
Of course, yes, he would.
Kobe still would have got robbed.
All right, fellas.
Steve Nash of all people.
Yeah, Steve Nash MVPs. Come on.
I'm never forgetting that.
Speaking of somebody who could potentially get an Eastern Conference Finals MVP this year, Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers. How are we feeling about them? This is the next team and the final team that we are going to talk about from this division, fellas. How do we feel about the Cleveland Cavaliers?
The favorites in the East.
Cavs by far in the Central. Best team by
I
far.
think they're the best team in the conference.
By far.
I think they're the best team in the conference too, but you can debate the Knicks are pretty much, if not on the same level.
I'd listen to the Knicks, yeah. I'd listen.
I have more confidence in the Cavs over the Knicks. And I think Cavs.
I have a little more confidence in the Knicks, but the Cavs are also a really good team. At least in this division, they are by far the best. I mean, they got 4 all-star players. Now, they did lose Karras. We'll miss you.
Lonzo.
But Lonzo, Lonzo didn't know Cleveland had water, so I don't know where his head's going to be at this season. But Lonzo is when healthy, a dang good player, especially what he can do with the ball. Just give Cleveland another ball handler when Darius Garland is kind of just like showing up with injuries or just in the postseason. But he can also play some good defense too.
Yeah, Cavs to me, being a Pistons fan, Cavs to me is the team to beat, and that's the team I would hate to match up against in the playoffs. Personally, I would hope somebody else eliminate them But if the Pistons have to do it, then, it is what it is. But that's the team to beat to me. I think they're very respectable. They got a solid team all around the roster, and they got a lot of guys who can just be very flexible in terms of playing different roles on that team too. And that's what makes them so dangerous.
To be fair, they have no answer for Cade if Lonzo isn't healthy.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say,
yeah. I mean, their backcourt defense is Garland Mitchell.
Exactly. No.
But it's been like that for years. If the Cavs get eliminated, they probably eliminated themselves. Just simply either not showing up healthy or
they're not healthy because Darius Garland is yet to be healthy.
Yep, feels like that too.
Into the playoffs,
He's so good.
Jared Allen had that 1 year he wasn't necessarily healthy.
Yeah.
Your only concern is with the injuries too. Is this just becomes another year of because they played so team ball in the regular season. Donovan Mitchell's numbers went a little down because they started sharing the rock. And the offense at one point was the best in basketball. I'm pretty sure it did finish as the best in basketball.
It was like all-time great.
But at one point, their ratings across the board were extremely high in like January before
it was like OKC
a couple games. But your biggest fear is come postseason time, it doesn't become just another Donovan Mitchell show when he's taking 40 shots a game.
Well, hopefully
I think that was out of necessity.
It was, but that's what you're hoping. It doesn't become that again because the Cavs last year is because Garland was really good as far as scoring the basketball, but also giving you 10+ assists, heading the offense. Donovan Mitchell was giving you 24. Then you had Evan Mobley doing well on both sides of the ball. Jared Allen holding it down at the 5. They played great team basketball with Strus in there. I know they had a little Sam Merle action for a stretch. But they played great team basketball in the regular season. But you're scared that it just all falls apart come postseason.
Yeah, this is the first time I'm watching. If they're healthy, I think they should get through the East. That's where I'm at. But,
I agree too.
I don't. Well.
Healthy, it's possible they can. It's for sure possible if they stay healthy all through the postseason that they can get to the finals. And I think it's not even crazy to say that they're the finals favorite. They might already be. I don't know what the exact numbers look like, but
let's see. Finals favorite. It's OKC, but it's Cleveland as the second best.
Yeah, they're plus 700.
That's fair. I think that's very much fair. Based on what they have, but the biggest
everybody go run and put hella money on Orlando. I'm telling you, you're gonna be so thankful.
Money on Orlando.
They're good.
Win the championship.
It's also
the Celtics have better odds than the Magic.
The Magic also has a big question of health too, because they have a great team, like from on paper, but it's just health is always the issue with them, or it's been the issue over the past couple of years.
One of them, yeah. But yeah, Cleveland I think. The biggest issue I have with them is their backcourt is small. That's still going to be an issue. But they have just the ability to play, like the ability to have Garland and Allen and then Mitchell and Mobley. Like 2 of them on the court at any given time is extremely valuable because your offense is going to be at a high level regardless. And then defensively, Jarrett Allen can command the middle, Mobley can man the middle. And then you get like that 6-8 minutes a game where they're all on the court together and like they could just blitz teams with those lineups. Then defensively, you got Lonzo, who I still think is an elite defender. You got DeAndre Hunter, who I think can defend. Dean Wade, I think, is an underrated defender, probably because of his persuasion, I would say. I think I think they just have pieces to be. I think they have pieces to just be really good. Just my only concern would be I have a couple concerns: health, and then is their backcourt too small? Do they have too many mismatches on the court at any given time? Like when they come up against a team like Orlando that are just way bigger than them across the boards, how does that look when you have Garland and Mitchell? And then also the benefit of the doubt is going to Garland because he's never been healthy in the playoffs, so he hasn't played well. But you can be like, he hasn't been healthy. Maybe part of it is also just Garland's game just isn't well suited to the playoffs because he's a finesse player, because he doesn't have many physical advantages, because he's not going to get to the rim with a ton of volume, and he's going to rely on the pull-up 3 or the floater, and you're going up against big, lengthy defenders. Maybe he's just not as effective in the playoffs, and we don't know if that's the case. So there's questions, but I think if everything goes right, I think the Cavs are the best team in the East. But I can see avenues in which they lose in round 2 or the conference finals. I can see that happening, but they are my favorites right now.
I think the other question, though, about them is this is now, the second or third playoff run in a row where Jared Allen is like thoroughly outplayed by the opposing center.
I think they should try and trade him and play.
To me, that's a problem. Because Jared Allen is a big part of that team. because they're one of the best pick and roll teams in the league. One of the reasonings is because he's one of the best play finishers in the league, and obviously he contributes a major value to them defensively as well. And I don't know, his lack of physicality come postseason time, I think is a concern. Like they kind of have they're kind of softish. I don't want to like, it seems harsh, I guess, but they're kind of a soft team. Darius Garland and D Mitch are small. And then even their bigs, like, yeah, they're tall, but like they're like
not physically imposing.
Like, not. Evan Mobley is trying to put on weight. Shout out to him. This also may be though the year, Mars, where I'm willing to say potentially that Evan Mobley is the best player on that team. From what I'm seeing, he looks fantastic so far. But we'll have to see preseason. But yeah, I think Orlando's better than them. I think that physicality, that size is going to impact Cleveland in a major way in a playoff setting. But as far as this division, yeah, they're the best team in this division. And I do think they're the second best team in the East. For what's that word?
Hold on. What do you think is better in the East?
Orlando.
So Orlando jumps New York.
Yeah, I think Orlando's better than New York. Yeah.
Is there anybody else up here that doesn't think that the Cavs are the best team in the East?
I think it's a toss-up between them and the Knicks as the number one team in the East. But I think the Cavs will have the most wins in the regular season.
Ox thinks Orlando is the best team in the East. I know that. Or the Knicks. So I know he doesn't think it's Cleveland.
Okay. Manny?
I'm Cavs are the best team in it. I think it's a toss-up between Knicks and Cavs. But I will say Cavs will most likely finish with the better record in the regular season.
Okay. Jean Money, who you think's the best in the East?
I think it's quite clearly the Cavs.
Clearly?
I think they get grouped with like the 15 Hawks for some reason. I just don't think that's like they got hurt last year and they were playing awesome in the regular, like really all-time good in the regular season.
Mm-hmm. They were quite good, yeah.
Yeah, I got the Cavs as front runners, but I don't think they're unbeatable. Like I think teams can definitely, get with them and possibly knock them out, but it's going to be difficult, of course. But I doubt it happens. If they were to lose a series in the playoffs, I doubt it happens in less than 5 games. Like I don't see teams just like running through the Cavs at all in the playoffs. But I can't sit here and say they're unbeatable. Yeah, they're my team where I would say they're the favorite so far in the East, especially even in this division. Like I have them above the Pistons and everybody else in this division, but I still think if they run into any of those teams that it could be a great series and possibly a 7-game series that's decided in that last matchup.
I don't know if what the Cavs did last year in the regular season is replicable.
Why not? Who's going to stop them?
No, because I just think that they were, if y'all remember, to start the season, they were shooting the ball at such a ridiculous clip.
They did pull off.
They had the most efficient offense in the league last year.
I know, but what I'm saying is I don't know if everybody's going to shoot the ball like that again. They also lost Ty Jerome, who was a big part of that coming off the bench.
They gained Lonzo Ball. Shout out to my dog.
I know Lonzo Ball right now isn't as good as Ty Jerome offensively, not from what we saw. Not from what we saw last year. No, sir. No, sir. Not in the regular season.
Lonzo disrespectful not be tolerated.
If Darius Garland's healthy, real talk. If he's not healthy, I agree with you. But if he's healthy, they're gonna be able to repeat that because he's the engine. He's the straw that stirs the drink for that offense. So if he's healthy next year, they're gonna be top 2, probably again. But then at that point, it's like injuries and all that other stuff. What can they? Jarrett stays healthy, Evan stays healthy, Darius stays healthy, Mitch stays healthy.
I expect OKC and y'all to be that's bare minimum better offensively than them next year.
Okay,
and the Knicks Knicks might be as well.
I don't think
OKC's offense is so driven by like shot making. Like we know, will they be able to finish? They were
that's
after
everybody.
January. I know, no, but they don't have. And maybe this is real talk. They don't have the playmaking initiating that Denver does, that Cleveland does, that the Lakers are supposed to have with Luka. They don't have that kind of engine that generate those kind of high quality looks consistently. Now Shea does, but Shea doesn't. He's not the same. Again, I'll try to make this sound like I'm trying to differentiate between play style. Like Shea's not creating looks in the same degree. He's creating good shots, but he's not creating the same kind of shots to the same degree. It's like Luka and like the Cleveland offense and Jokic and them. Does that make sense? I'm not trying to slander Shea. I'm just saying like I'm trying.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I think in a
Yeah.
regular season setting, I think he definitely is up there in the regular season.
Sure.
And then I'm also just expecting a better J-Dub offensively and Chet. Like I don't even think they need.
Is J-Dub gonna
Cade in
be
that
there
series.
game 1?
I don't know. J-Dub is still
Is he not
shooting with
healthy
his
right now?
so I don't.
I thought
Well,
he
yeah,
was.
No, he had
thing in,
surgery. He had
yeah,
surgery.
That's a good question.
I don't know.
Well, to
I mean,
Swiper's
Alec Caruso's
point, though,
starting.
to Swiper's point, as far as like an offensive engine, Cleveland's engine definitely is more powerful than OKC's. Just as far as like the fluidity and how
Regular
many guys in the regular season, as far as fluidity and how many guys didn't get open. I mean, half of OKC's offense is their defense turning into offense. It's not just like in a half court.
Yep.
In a half court, Cleveland's offense to me is better, just as far as how it flows, at least in the regular season. Their 3-point shooting, I don't think it's close. OKC is like not the best 3-point shooting team in the world compared to what Cleveland has. But I mean, yeah, the postseason's different. I think we can all agree that Cleveland's going to win 60-plus games again. Now, are they going to like repeat the offensive historic net ratings and offensive ratings they did last year, or maybe what was it, 64 wins last year? Are they going to repeat the exact same numbers? Maybe not. But I think they can get close because they're going to run back the same core, and we know what they can deliver time after time in the regular season, one of the best teams in the NBA.
Yeah, but Ty Jerome's not like Ty Jerome was insanely good last year.
He was key.
Yeah, and you was very adamant he's not a top 100 player. We hate him.
Ty Jerome
because I didn't believe that's I didn't believe that was him. But he did perform.
You're gonna see as him watching Memphis. You're gonna see.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. If that's him, then that's him. We'll see.
Yeah. Hating on Ty Jerome. I'm Lonzo Ball.
Ty Jerome was big. There was games where Cleveland was down 2 to 3 All-Stars, and Ty Jerome had to drop 20 to 30 points to keep that offense afloat. So, yeah, I do agree to some point, but I still think for the most part, Cleveland's going to be the same team.
Yeah, he was a spark player, like at times when they needed it most. He was one of those guys that would definitely give a spark, but it is a hit, but I think Cleveland will still be okay. He played a big point, and I mean, you guys still got it. As long as you got the core, I feel like that's the biggest part with Cleveland, is as long as you got the core, because this team is they're loaded front to back, so I think they're all right.
Yeah, and we haven't talked too much about their bench and just their other guys, other than obviously their top 4 guys: Jared Allen, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell. But I'm like, they still got DeAndre Hunter, they still got Dean Wade, they still got, they obviously just added Lonzo. Like this team they still got
Killian Hayes,
Max Strus.
I wasn't even talking about Strus. I'm talking about the other
Sam Merrill.
Oh,
Sam Merrill. Like this team is loaded. They are absolutely loaded. So we'll just have to see, y'all. But salute to everybody that's in here. You guys already know the drill. Like the video. Shout out to everybody that's watching on Facebook, but an even bigger shout out to everybody that has liked the video on Facebook. Flexus Pete, Zay Banks, Jorge Rafael Ramos, the GOAT on Facebook, Jamal Sparks, Game Day J, Bet T, Connor Jorgensen, my bad. Connor Jorgensen, Ahmed Farwaz, and Jeremy Conley. Salute to them. Shout out Jeremy Conley, too. All right, y'all. We got some super chats, so let's go ahead and see what the people got to say. Alan Ao sent through another super chat. I think you guys know his agendas and the propaganda that he's pushing, but this is what he had to say. Alan Ao said Luka and Ayton have practiced. Ayton admit he hasn't practiced with Bron and Luka at the same time. JJ clarified this today.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. Cool.
Thank you, JJ.
Thank you.
Some of those JJ press conferences, I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? Like, I'm concerned.
JJ Redick hates media. He every chance he got to make them feel stupid, he takes advantage of it.
He was with Stephen A. Smith on a show for 3 years. Of course he's
Marcus Smart recently also was in a press conference, or I don't know, but just interviewing after practice or whatever, and was talking about how his Achilles still doesn't feel like 100%. The more that comes out about the Lakers, the more sad I get about their team and the reality. I don't we might be in the 7-8 seed this year.
Well, they were what, like
you guys have got real familiar with the players. So.
We have.
Cultured Bandit said this Eagles pack got me seeing seagulls. Damn. My Giants are going to be a problem in 2 years.
I can't believe they got.
I agree.
I can't believe
they
got
lean
that.
on their rookies and they all right.
34-17, and Jackson looks good, man. He's dropping. I mean, him
Him
and
and
Wandale
Jackson
got a
got
nice
so
combo,
much
but he
aura.
runs. He will move his feet the right way. I mean, Jackson might be a guy. Like, they need more offensive pieces. Obviously, not losing their best receiver, Malik Neighbors, costs a lot, but
How
they got
long
a nice.
do you think Scatterbo would last?
Scatterbo's pretty good. Giants got a lot of good players.
I
And
can't
Russell
believe
Wilson
Scatterbo
being
took that
sneaky
job
was
from
kind of
Tyrone
covering
Tracy,
the fact
dog.
the Giants have an underrated roster.
He's so fun.
For Scatterbo is Peyton Hillis, 2025, bro. I mean, that's literally what he is.
You think he's gonna? How long you think he's gonna last?
I don't know. Maybe his rookie contract, but hopefully he lasts a while because I want everybody to get paid. But like, yeah, he definitely he's a
fun,
bruiser.
though. He's really fun.
3 touchdowns, dude.
He just plays fun though. He's just CTE all over the place.
Peyton Hillis didn't last that long. So
Well, y'all, if you want to hear more about football, if you want to hear more about the NFL, if you want to hear more about the Giants and the NFC East, this is where you need to tap into the Press Box. They are live Wednesdays at 8:30, Sundays at 11 a.m. You guys see up here, you got Big Head Bama, you got Dion from Ohio, and you got another guy who was pretty good at football when he played football. But they are up here, and they will be live and in effect on Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So you guys make sure to tap in with Swiper in the game. All right. The next super chat I got is from Rod. Rod said, dude, talk about our team. Dude, talk about a team he doesn't even watch at all. Billy has done a lot to adjust. He had a bad roster. Don't blame him. Blame the front office. Ron, shut up.
Okay. No, I got
to be fair that Billy has done a solid job, and it can be on the front office. The only point I was making with Manny is that on any other team, if you are mediocre for an extended period of time, they're going to fire you.
But
the intention is to be mediocre.
But the front office is the one who has to fire.
If the intention is to be mediocre, then you wouldn't get fired. In fact, you get an extension.
I mean, if that is the intention, then shout out to Billy and shout out the front office.
Billy isn't just going to fire himself. Someone has to fire Billy Donovan, and the people who fire the coaches is the front office. But the front office's expectations aren't going to fire Billy
as
Donovan.
long as they're number one in attendance and they're making the play, and it makes it seem like they're trying to win games.
That is
Billy Donovan's job is going to be safe.
That's all they care about. But right now, I was saying the same thing. Like, I know it. Yes, I was saying Billy Donovan needs to go because this isn't allowed with any other team, and I still say that should be the case. But also, it's not all on Billy Donovan for the reason why the Bulls haven't been working. I think at some points he's done a good job. At some points he hasn't done a good job at all. But ultimately, the Bulls are just going to continue to sit in this mediocrity as long as they keep Billy Donovan there. And
no, as long as they keep trying to be mediocre.
As long as, I don't think Billy Donovan is the reason for that mediocre.
Stop saying it's Billy Donovan. Just say it's.
Yeah, that's why we're disagreeing because you're acting like Billy Donovan is anything more than a
say Jerry Reinsdorf, or we'll keep.
He plays a part in it. He plays a part in it.
Jerry Reinsdorf.
The last 5-6 years and see now.
No, Jerry Reinsdorf
playing success. He's part of it. He got to get.
Jerry Reinsdorf's name.
It does start with ownership. But
who?
With ownership. Reinsdorf. It starts with Jerry Reinsdorf. It starts with him. He's a terrible owner. That is non-negotiable. But looking down, if you want to continue to be mediocre, then that's what you have. And that's like Tamar's point of why Billy Donovan is going to continue to be the coach. But ultimately,
you're calling Billy Donovan a mediocre head coach. Is that what you're just saying?
Yes, he is a mediocre head coach.
With the Chicago Bulls. If you don't have any success and you had some sort of pieces there, where at one point in time you did have pieces there, I think at some point when you look at the time he's been there, you can blame.
Weren't they good when they had the pieces?
No, they were not.
They were like exactly what the pieces were.
Delonzo, Alex Caruso.
Like, let me be clear. Like
got to the playoffs.
Billy Donovan is not one of these Mike Dignan.
I mean,
like,
they got hurt.
They
Though.
had to take clubs out of his bags. That's just great on a bad team.
But didn't they get hurt?
I also just think this year he maximized the roster he had.
Yeah, I thought they overachieved this year.
Maxing out the 3.1.
This year they showed some
Kobe
promise.
White being one of the voluminous transition players in the NBA. Like, I think they changed their best to fit the roster they have. Just so happens the roster they have is not going to get them to.
A coach could only go as far as his roster, man. Any sport, coach can only go as far as his roster.
I think coach and players. I think your name is Manny, right? You're Manny.
Yeah, it's Manny.
Yeah. So what if somebody was up here, and I'm using this example for a reason. What if somebody was up here talking about how terrible Cade Cunningham was while he was out there playing with God knows who and was calling him a bad player because they were losing?
I'm so glad you brought that up. I'm actually so glad you brought that up because if this was the Pistons case where yes, Cade was on his team, he's doing whatever, but they're just losing game after game after game. At some point, like even if he's averaging 20, 30, whatever the case is, at some point you're going to want to change. You're going to want to get out of this mediocrity that you've been living in. Okay. And yes, even if Cade...
Oh, no, but I'm saying we shouldn't be looking at Cade saying he's bad because they're losing. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying we shouldn't be looking at Billy Donovan if he's... I think we
agree.
Different because it's player on player. But if we're looking at Bickerstaff, and Bickerstaff isn't having any success. And you know what? Perfect example. Monty Williams. Monty Williams was there, and he was terrible with the Pistons. As soon as he left, Bickerstaff came and took the team to the playoffs pretty much. So
they got better. They got better.
They did get better. They had a lot more pieces there. So that concludes to the point of the front office helping out, obviously coming down from ownership. But with the coach was there, the core that was on the Pistons that Monty Williams had and Bickerstaff had was just about the same. But you can't sit here and tell me that, it's not the coach's fault when you
I think we all agree, actually. I think we all think the Bulls should tear it down, trade all their players, get their draft picks, get good players, and also maybe fire Billy Donovan and get a young coach that has the potential to be a great coach instead of just this mediocre coach.
I agree.
I think we all agree on
that. That's it.
There's truth in what you're saying, though, that it is weird that Billy Donovan kind of has this like long leash. It does feel like Donovan has a leash that's been longer than other situations.
But so I think
there's truth in what you're saying. But what we're also saying on top is the people who cut the leash are fine with what's on the court. And whatever you're going to blame for a mediocre team or not living up to expectations, that's all set by the people upstairs. And they're the ones not really doing their job. I think a coach can really only go as far as the roster could take them. And this Bulls roster the past few years has been mid at best. They had the one good year, and then they all got hurt and it all went away fast. I mean, I thought at the time we called them the mid-3. Like, I didn't think we all expected the Bulls to be some special team that core, unless you lived in Chicago and were buying in the hype. But
also, they traded Alex Caruso for like a not good asset instead of just getting picks in. Like, it's just the thought process is just not there. They extended Vucevic, a terrible contract. Like DeMar DeRozan to get their own picks back, which was top 10 protected. So if they just tanked, they could have gotten it anyway. Or exactly my bad. But yeah, they traded for their own pick that was top 10 protected. So if they just tank, they get it anyway. Like, it's just stupid.
Yeah.
Chicago, y'all got to lock in. The fans, just stop showing up. Stop showing up and supporting that bullshit that they are putting on the floor.
Yes.
You guys have to stop.
I'm guilty. I show up still, but I wear my Pistons if I show up.
Oh, you're in Chicago? I didn't know that. I thought you were in Detroit.
Yeah, I wear my Pistons. I got to let it be known if I go there. I'm like, nah, I'm not.
I thought that would be like a death sin. If you do that in like Denmark between two rivalries, your life might be in danger.
I choose my battles wisely. Sometimes I wear a jacket. Sometimes I might just wear a little hat. Pistons logo. I choose my battles wisely. But when they play the Pistons, I'm cutting up. I cut up. Like last year, I cut up.
All right, y'all. Rod sent through another super chat about the Bulls. Rod said, Bulls make money. That's the ownership's goal. Blaming the coach for making lemonade with shit. Please shut up, Pistons fans. Brother, you sound ignorant.
I don't think an ownership's
Oh, man.
goal is necessary just to make money. A lot of owners try to win, and I think fans should punish owners that don't try to win by not coming to the game and thereby hurting their pocketbooks.
That's going to change soon. I think as sports get bigger and bigger, that more owners are coming in strictly to make money. Strictly to make money.
I see like investment.
Maybe the older owners are a little different, but I think now that sports are making so much money in any sport that these guys are just coming in strictly to make money.
Casual.
You might be getting some whitewashing as well.
When did Josh Harris take over the Jazz? Was that like 4 or 5 years ago? Yeah. The new owner of the Jazz. I think his name is. Well, Josh Harris might be.
Oh, Josh Harris is the 76ers, no?
Yeah, Jazz owner is Ryan Smith. Ryan Smith, the young dude too. Let's see, Ryan Smith buys. Is that the most recent sale that we've had?
The Wolves is actually the most recent sale because it just went through.
Or Lakers.
So that would have been
Boston or Lakers.
Yeah, so we have the Lakers, the Suns with the Ishiba, and then we have this one. Timberwolves. So that's 4 in the last 5 years.
That's because it got delayed.
And now the Celtics are about to be sold too.
I think it needs to just be some sort of limitation on it. Like in all sports, honestly, like the ownership, switching owners, buying, selling teams, cool, whatever. But I think if your team has been so bad for so long and you could like monitor whatever standard you want to put it at, but if your team hasn't got a playoff win in how many years, like you need to be forced to sell a team. Because like at that point, you're not competitive and you're just banking on the money.
Or
and
I
I feel like
do what the Premier League does and just do regulation. Just say, hey, buddy, you suck for the last 3 years. We can just push you down. But I don't know.
No, it's like 1 year.
I don't even think there's enough teams in the United States to do regulation anyways.
No, because the league is owned by the owners, whereas the Premier League is its own entity.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I do agree. Bulls ownership, terrible. And I'll backtrack on that. It's not so much on Billy Donovan. I'll even cut him a little bit of slack in that. It's not so much all on him. But ownership, definitely just clear house, man. Ownership, Ransdorf family, they got to be done.
Including your own house. Just clean everything out. Just start a whole new franchise. As a matter of fact, I got a city y'all could come to. But that's a story for
Seattle
the other day. Moha is, I don't know if that's Moha L's or Moha is. However, Moha said, is the Lakers or are the Lakers a better team with Shea than Luka? And vice versa with OKC and Luka? Is the Lakers better starting with Smart, Reeves, SGA, Bron, and Ayton? So essentially, if you flop out Luka and put SGA over there, would the Lakers be a better team? Yes or no?
No, I
think you could argue that they are, but I would also think that you could very much argue that OKC gets better with Luka in OKC.
Mm-hmm.
So I think actually both teams could actually get better with the swap of them two.
I think Lakers would get better, and I think OKC would get a little bit worse. Just because Jay is a faster player, he plays harder on defense, and I think he does a little bit more for the rest of the guys on that team. Whereas Luka is going to be more ball dominant, not going to be able to move as fast, and doesn't play as much defense.
So Luka, quite
better Luka would make J-Dub, and how much better he'll make Chet, how much better he'll make iHeart. Luka would be spoon feeding iHeart.
I get that,
Luka
but
have iHeart out here looking like an all-star center.
I get that, but it's really the being ball dominant part.
I think both teams would be worse.
It's a weird.
It would hurt OKC's defense as well. I think that'd be the problem.
It's a weird comparison.
SJ is a pretty good defender.
Yeah, so it's just gives you a place to attack on defense, which OKC doesn't have as much right now.
SGA was getting attacked.
Yeah, he was getting attacked, but it's better to attack Luka than it is to attack SGA.
Well,
my goodness, if he has Chet, iHeart, and J-Dub backline,
yeah, sure.
But I do think both teams would still be good. Like, I ain't gonna sit here and say, "Oh, OKC would be trash." No, I think both teams would for sure still be good.
Lakers would benefit because SGA is a quality defender, and with less defensive talent on that roster, that is more valuable on that team. But again, I think Luka's ability to play and pick and roll with Chet and iHeart and be a better passer, definitely a better lob thrower. Shea practically never hits Chet on that read. I think
Superchat up again.
They better passer and playmaker would make them better offensively.
That's true. I ain't mad at that.
Assist numbers for OKC would definitely go up. They would be the ball would definitely flow a little bit better as far as like getting it into the big men. Remember in the finals? I know they were playing Indiana, but the disparity in some of those games in assists, Shea would just have 0 to like 3 assist games. That would just never happen with Luka.
All right, y'all. The next super chat I got is from Mad Max Sports Talk. Mad Max said the Lakers can say the same thing. They only lost to the Nuggets when healthy. And Swiper, keep my Wolves out your big ass.
I'm the one
mouth.
defending the Wolves.
We
today,
own
so
y'all.
I'm hearing Ant Edwards worse than Cade Cunningham. Yeah, I mean the Lakers. The Lakers. Yeah, I mean the Lakers just got dog walked by the Wolves too. I mean I don't know how hurt they were. I mean I guess they were not healthy, but like I don't know if they would have mattered versus that Wolves team. Lakers just haven't been a good playoff team the last few years, 2 years, and then 3 years ago they were really good. They just ran into a team that like much to real talk chagrin, just they couldn't do anything with. So
Lakers just can't close. I think that's their biggest issue. They can't close. There's some games where they got blown out by Minnesota, but I thought Luke had the flu game, and if he wasn't sick, they may have stole that game. I think it was game 3. There's just been some series against the Nuggets and then the Timberwolves where you feel like the Lakers could have won those series had they just been better down the stretch in the fourth quarter, but they'll just collapse.
But going 2-12 in the last 3 playoffs is pretty nasty though. Like in the last 3 series,
yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
More recent conference finals than the Clippers.
All right, y'all. The next super chat is from Markyville10. Markyville said, let's go, Mariners. Time to belt to ass those Tigers. Hashtag football. Hashtag Seattle stand up.
That's crazy. You about to make me go.
All these teams are losing the Jays, by the way. The way the Jays are playing.
The Jays don't want it.
The ways the Jays are playing. Yeah, man. All these teams are losing the Jays.
Possibly, but I'll be happy to advance to the next round. I'll be happy we advance to the next round. I'll put it that way.
We want the Dodgers.
Oh, I
don't think you should say that out loud, but yeah.
We want Shohei.
That's like saying I want the 80 Warriors. No, you don't.
I don't want the
You don't want to see him. They're just going to out-talent you, and it's going to be embarrassing.
I don't want to see the Dodgers, actually. I don't even want to see them advance. Like, they wasn't supposed to win. That game yesterday with the Phillies was crazy. They wasn't supposed to win.
Yeah, man. That was...
He threw the home. They had 2 outs.
That was a bad night if you're a Philly sports fan. My goodness.
Oh, my gosh. They lost everything. Even the Flyers lost.
Poor Philly. Trevi said Serbian Chunkabunka FC, Skinny Canadian FC, Best Stay Alert, the Greek G.I. Joe FC, and Slovenian Teletubby FC taking the top 2 spots. Real talk, let them know.
Real talk's having to defend them versus Shea if they're either one of them is better than Shea right now on Twitter. So go join his Twitter. It's been very interesting watch from afar. I'm glad I'm not involved in that because I do not enjoy those conversations at all. But shout out to Real Talk.
Please.
Good luck to you, sir. Hey, going down with the sinking ship.
The ship is not tanking whatsoever. The ship is very much still alive. Giannis is very much still better than Shea, and I believe Luka is as well. But shout out to Shea. I think Shea's amazing.
That's tough. That's tough. I think we need more games.
Hey, Ron, play the Titanic music.
Hey, real talk. Are you gonna drown for old girl, or are you gonna make her get off the thing so you can survive?
Oh yeah, she definitely getting off ticket. Yeah. At that point, it's every nigga for himself. I don't do that saving shit. You better save your damn shit.
Giannis ship drowning?
Just checking. Not at all. It's thriving.
The guy's giving you an MVP season every year. I don't think it's sinking.
I think it's more so the Bucks as a whole that's like drowning rather than honest.
By the way, y'all gotta chill out because somebody in the chat mentioned it. Real talk. Somebody said you need to be breaking down snacks, not film.
I know. And then I told him to post a picture of himself, and I didn't get a reply.
Of course he did.
It's very easy to say stuff online.
Everybody always got something to say when they don't put their face
when they ain't no visual of them. They got something to say.
Twitter is ridiculous too. But We got.
If I look like Ron, I for sure wouldn't be saying nothing.
I've been seeing Jacob the Clipper on Twitter all
Boy,
the time.
Hell, Ron straight, bro.
Ron, I saw a video that I was like, if Ron ever go too far on this platform, boy, it's up for you. It's over.
What video?
I'm not even. Hey, what's the Karen War celebration? I'm not even going to go there. I'm not even going to bring it up. Real talk, Ron. Just stay away from me, brother. That's what you need to do. Stay away from me. Don't come down this alley.
Blackmailing you publicly? I don't know.
Should pull a Drake and press charges.
Yeah, I don't know what Swiper's talking about. I just hope
you ain't got to worry about it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't worry about it.
I hope you get over your sickness sooner than Magic Johnson got over his. All right. The guy said Giannis to go and Luka to go. I agree with both of these.
Giannis is goated, man, and he's staying in Milwaukee.
Free Giannis. I didn't get a chance to really speak on that, but free Giannis.
For sure, for Giannis.
Malik Stevenson said Bulls need to move Vooch and develop young guys, to be honest.
Yes, do that.
I ain't mad at that.
It's probably a negative contract. I don't know if they can get anything from him.
Yeah, because they got to kind of, what is it? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they got to choose between what? Vooch and Giddey for contract wise?
I would say just choose neither, but
I'm on that same board. Just keep Matas and Kobe White, and you good.
So, Swiper, you just not going to say nothing? You just going to...
About which part?
I mean, what Ron said. You're just not going to say nothing about that.
I wish no.
I would like not for the FCC to come after me. Okay. So
I don't think YouTube's controlled by the FCC.
Not yet. Until when them networks come to pay, show, hey, I would love to think about buying the show. We should go through the 5 most recent shows. See how the
Swiper is sick right now. All I'm doing is I'm wishing him a speedy recovery. iOS Inc. sent through another members chat and said, "What are some of y'all dream playoff matchups for this season, assuming all teams are relatively healthy? And what matchups do you think could bring the best out or expose limitations for any player?" That's a good question.
Lakers Clippers. Can we finally get it?
Yes.
Years
later.
later.
I feel like the NBA's been wanting.
When the Clippers smoke the Lakers, you
have it aligned.
I probably should. I'd be tempted to go with the Lakers too. I took that mistake last year and I picked them over the Wolves. So you do want to pick the better team over the players, but I was still Luka versus that team would be great.
My
I would like Nuggets
Nuggets
Lakers too.
Can't do another Lakers Nuggets series.
Bro, I don't want to see Ayton.
No,
again, bro. Ayton.
So you get Luka and Jokic this time?
I do not want to see another Nuggets series in my life.
Luka
2 years, 1 game, fourth quarter leads.
But bro, but you know with DeAndre Ayton, bro, that would be a horrible series for the Lakers, bro.
Of the series, I am not.
Luka would fry, but like it would be so like real talk, especially would be so angry the entire series because Ayton is not a physical person, and
I'm
it's
good
just
on DeAndre Ayton versus Jokic.
Yeah, he's not.
I do not want to.
He's not. It's no. He's a good dude too. He's just not like
player. He's a soft player.
I would love one.
I want to see. I've been wanting to see Dallas versus Nuggets since 24.
I would love one of those defensive.
I like the matchup for Dallas a lot.
I really don't want to see JJ Redick run that defense for the first 2 games, and then I just 5 in the paint is just not something I want to see. Dallas would be a good fun series. Jason Kidd's gonna double Jokic every single touch. It'll be annoying to watch that. I want to see some basketball.
Rockets Warriors again. With
Rockets
KD.
Warriors would be fun with KD.
Let's get
that'd be very fun.
KD versus Braun would be cool too.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. That'd be
sad. In the same conference. Knicks versus Pistons is always a dogfight. So if we can get that again, I wouldn't be mad about that.
Yeah, that was a good match.
The Celtics are out, so I don't know. Just Cleveland in the conference finals in general. How about we just see that? I guess.
I think the Bucks versus the Pistons would be fun this year too. I just want to see what that looks like.
Hey, real talk. Spurs, OKC, just for Wemby versus SGA.
What about Wemby Jokic?
But OKC, like Wemby would just have so many turnovers, you get slandered like crazy.
Not ready for which part?
The physicality.
If Wemby beats Jokic in a playoff series, the amount of passing the torch narratives that are going to come out of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
torch is passed. Yeah, that will be the ESPN title of the,
Yeah,
the
it's gonna
article
be
the next day.
Thunder. So I kind of want to see that Thunder Rockets matchup. With KD back in OKC. I would love to see that.
I'm
If
thinking
we
about
could get a point guard, that would be fun.
Oh,
Like, that
KD
could
and
be really
OKC
rock
would be
fight.
nice.
Yeah, Rockets OKC. That'd be fun. I think Twitter would have.
Especially if the Rockets get Russ too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
You
god.
get Russ on the
Oh,
Rockets with
They
Russ
should-
and
actually, they
KD
can't sign
coming back
Russ.
to play OKC.
I don't think they have the cap space to get. I don't know how they're going to fill that second point guard spot, man. Holy.
They can't even trade Van Fleet because he has an implied no trade clause.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
think
All right,
anyone will
so
inherit Fred VanVleet anyways. It's just more of like I don't think they have the room to bring in Russ right now. They're going to have to get creative.
I got a couple more super chats, and then we got to get up out of here, fellas. The next one that I got is not necessarily a super chat, but more so a salute to Cheese because he's a Hall of Famer, but he's a Hall of Famer that gifted 10 Players Choice memberships to y'all out there in the chat. So if you got that membership, make sure to thank Cheese. Salute to Cheese. He always dropping these memberships and doing MVP chat shit. Shout out to Cheese. Jimmy Jules also became a YouTube member. Shout out to Jimmy Jules. Glub Monster. It's a hell of a name. Also became a YouTube member. Shout out to Glub. And Eduardo Franzazo. It's an interesting name, my guy, but shout out to Eduardo. Became a YouTube member. All right, last but not least, Z Gaming said my mom turned 62 today also. That day, she's retiring today.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
shout out.
Congratulations. Love moms. Love moms. Love dads. Guardians. Whoever else it is, for sure.
Salute to the retirement, too.
Got
Shout out
that
to her.
401k together.
If you have it, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully for sure.
All right, y'all. It has been real. We will catch you guys soon. J Money, appreciate you for pulling up. Casual, appreciate you for pulling up.
Look at those hearts.
Manny, we'll catch you soon. Y'all, the season is starting
Hearts
here.
in a
soon.
rainbow hoodie is crazy. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Love is
Do
love.
Do that again, Swiper. Do it again.
Which one? This one?
The heart.
Nah, the other one. Nah, the heart. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, y'all. We'll catch you guys soon. Oh, and by the way, Mercury and 7. We out.
Yeah, sure. I'm so sure.